Because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Getting your vehicle started doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into view today and pay just lose a dash. Commissioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public and Reserve Heavy Truck Auction is next Thursday at 9 a.m. Featuring tandem, tri-axle, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, man lifts, vacs, pickers, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. Fun and friendly with morning rates Monday to Thursday. Just $65 for 18 holes with cart. $55 for seniors. Includes a $5 food voucher for dining at Cattail's Out of Bounds restaurant. There's early bird golf Saturday and Sunday. $50 for 9 holes with cart and snack voucher. 9 and dine Fridays after 4. Cart and a $40 Out of Bounds gift card. Plus, Glow Golf every second Friday and bring your dog golfing on Mondays. Visit cattailcrossing.ca.
You've got things to do and wait for a road trip. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care, exploring Edmonton from the Science Center to Horlock Park. I see your lawns
wiggling away from Ake.
Weeds are here, and you've got them, Edmonton.
See, cut them in half.
Guaranteed lawn care programs and unlimited weed control. Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert for
Presented by Play Alberta.
and they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
CanTorque has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. On Sports 1440.
Craftily taken by Messi. Wriggling away from Ake. I'm fiddling through a beautiful pass. It's a wonderful Argentina goal. Molina pounced. Messi cut them in half.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
His biggest stop. Oh, it's in. And Jordan Stahl's got another. And the go-ahead goal. Von Hart might have got a piece of that.
What a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks as always for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where, of course, at PlayAlberta.ca, Lotto 649 tonight. Get your tickets to the OG of lotteries at PlayAlberta.ca. 10 million up for grabs tonight. Also up for grabs tonight, an opportunity for the New York Knicks to take a 3-1 series lead. Or will we see first time in NBA history where the road team wins all 4 games? The last time the road team won all first 3 games was 1993, the Bulls and the Jazz. But then the Bulls won game 4 at home, ended up winning in 6 games. So the Knicks will try to repeat that tonight and get a victory in you're in a close series. It'll be a pivotal game 4. Last night, the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, unless you're a Vegas fan and you're somebody who is just rooting for competitiveness, we got it, as we are now down to a best of 3 in the Stanley Cup Final. Similar to last year. Remember, the Oilers won game 4. We're coming home for game 5. Everyone's fired up, and unfortunately, did not happen. But Carolina will try to go home and get a win. The goals keep coming in this series. 8 more. How about Jordan Staal? Guy scored a goal in every game. He had 2 last night, including the game winner, one-hander while he's falling backwards. And Carolina gets a win. What's great about the series? 2-goal leads, they're not safe. They are not safe. Carolina, again, 2-0, goes 2-1. 3-1, 3-3. But they were able to hold on and get the win. So when you think in this series, 2-0, 2-0, 4-0, 2-0, 3-1, every one of those leads is evaporated. Now, in 2 of those occasions, the team that was leading was able to eventually win the game and hold on. But it's been awesome if you are a fan of entertainment and a fan of no lead is safe. 9, 7, 9, and 8 goals in each game. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. 33 goals so far in the series. How about Brett Howden? Scores his 14th, tying Fernando Pisani. The only players in the last 30 years since 1997 who have scored more goals in a playoff year than Howden. Sam Bennett had 15 last year. Crosby had 15 in 09. Ovi had 15 in 18. Those teams all won the cup. And Zach Hyman had 16 in 2024. Of course, the all-time record, Reggie Leach, Jari Kurri. Joe Sakic had 18 goals in 1996 for the Colorado Avalanche. So this is kind of an out-of-body experience for Howden with his offense right now. And, Carolina, that's, I honestly, there's no carryover from game to game on who he thinks going to win and who's playing better. You look at it, it's been wild that we've had this many goals despite not a lot of total shots. And that's, shot volume, not as important as it used to be. So when people look at a team's Corsi, I'm not sold it matters as much now as it used to, because teams are much more picky at times. They're like, I'm not just going to waste a shot for some of them. They wait, they hold on to it. Like Vegas had 12 shots through 40 minutes. Not ideal by any stretch, but the game was tied. They had 3 goals and 12 shots. And then they outshot Carolina 9-5 in the third period, but got outscored because Staal scored. And then after that, it was kind of sitting back until Nikolai Ehlers. And even look at Nikolai Ehlers' empty net goal. He goes to ring it around the boards, and he rings, like, how many times do you see a puck do that? Where you ring it around, and then all of a sudden it slowly just angles to the middle of the ice and goes in the net. It's been a wild series, man. It's had everything. It has had everything if you like entertainment. Now, if you are a fan of drama and soap operas and twists and turns, well, what could we call it? As the Oilers turn, right? These are the days of Oiler fans' lives. Pick your soap opera. But now, if the Oilers continue to go down the path with Mike Babcock, the NHLPA is in recipient of, quote, significant additional claims from their own investigation with players that were not publicly reported in 2023. This is from Frank Saravalli. And this is not to do with the asking players to see the photos. It's other stuff. And we'll see. It was the subsequent unknown allegations that ultimately caused Babcock having to resign. So now, but they didn't do an investigation because it didn't do a deep dive on it. So, oh my goodness. What do you think what's in those allegations, man? I'd be very interested. So how it would come out, and it will come out, make no mistake, if the Oilers and Babcock are like, you know what, let's make this happen. All right? Hey, I want to put it all out there. I want everybody to know. Because if you've truly changed, you know, like when you talk to anybody who has a history of making some bad decisions repeatedly, eventually, you know what? You got to own up to it. And I will say this, most people, if somebody owns it and like truly means it, a lot of people are like, all right, okay, I'll give you a second chance. Now, you still got to prove it. You can't just say it. Words are one thing, actions are another. But if you say you're sorry, you apologize, every situation's a little bit different, of course. Just because you apologize, like if you murder someone and apologize, it doesn't mean it's just racist. You know what I'm talking about? But obviously no one was killed. But in a situation like this, if he ever came out and said, yes, this is how I acted, it was inappropriate, I was wrong, and here we go. So we'll see. They could maybe that's a difference. Maybe he doesn't want it public. I have no idea. But clearly there will be no hiring of the coach until this investigation is complete. So when's that going to be? How long is the investigation going to take? I don't know. Even like Sarah Valley reported, they say there's no timetable for that. So this the story just gets, there's new twists and turns and gets a little juicier by the day. And we'll see how committed both sides are if they want to go down that path. And away we go. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers soap opera would definitely be called Stepping on Rakes. Oh, yeah, that would be wild. So we'll see. Cons, what do you think ultimately comes here? Does Babcock interest in wanting to get back in the NHL to say, yeah, you know what? Let's get it all out there? Or do you think they say, no, it's not worth it?
I think it's all going to get out there, right? And maybe, as long as it's not criminal, Babcock has no issue with it coming out there and he wants to move on past it. And if that's his path to get back to the NHL with this Oilers team, I kind of feel like they're going to go through with it. And it's going to be interesting for us to see. It does kind of feel like, when this all happened with the Columbus Blue Jackets, that the PA might have said, hey, resign, leave the team, and this will all stay covered. But now that he's getting back into it, like, okay, the investigation continues. We're going to go forward with this. And I was shocked. Like, I thought for sure that going into players' phones was the reason that this happened. I thought that was why he ended up, leaving that Blue Jackets position. What else is there? I'm sitting on eggshells here. I want to see what happened and hear what it is. And then, ultimately see if the Edmonton Oilers continue the pursuit to make him their next head coach. But yeah, it's a soap opera for sure. No slow summer. Even if the Oilers out of the Cup final, we still have plenty to discuss here.
Yeah, well, it's the story that just keeps on going. The head coaching saga from the Edmonton Oilers. Is it fair to say that at times it's looked like maybe they don't have the best plan? Right? It hasn't, like, look at the LA Kings coaching search. Was there any drama around it? Was there any drama around the Vancouver Canucks? Has there been any around the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, from how it went down to, we're interested in Cassidy. Now we got to fire our coach. Now we're interested in Cassidy. Oh, we can't speak to Cassidy. Oh, now we're interested in Babcock. Well, geez, if you want to be interested in Babcock, now we got to go to the NHLPA. Like, none of these other teams are having this issue. I think the Oilers at least need to look and say, hey, maybe our process here hasn't been the most fluid. hasn't been the best because it's not looking as though it's the best strategy. You know what? It might end up being the right one. We'll see. But so far, the process has been a little bumpy, to say the least. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can always text us, email us, Gregor at sports1440.ca. We got a pretty busy show for you. Aaron Portzline is going to join us right off the hop. Hey, we got to go to Columbus, find out what's potentially involved here. Struddy will join us in the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to talk a little World Cup. The World Cup begins tomorrow. Canada's first game will be on home soil on Friday. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Landon Ferraro will be by. Spec, Cam Tate. So we got a loaded show for you. And lots of texts, 833-401-1440. Before we go, hey, guys, avoid River Valley Road eastbound. Took 45 minutes to get from Grote to Walter Dale. Yikes. So there you go from the Hawk. So avoid it if you can. If you're going eastbound on River Valley Road, it is very, very slow going.
Traffic from the Riverhawks game today, maybe?
Well, the
buses?
well, Rosedale shut down, right, for the Riverhawks?
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, they have the afternoon game for the Riverhawks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, did you talk to Josh? How was his, him and Brandon, did they make it through the game? Like, how much those guys eat last night?
Well, can you see this helmet? This was full of nachos.
They ate the whole jeez.
They ate the whole thing. Then they had some churro Oreo hot dog thing.
What?
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
That
and then they
sounds
had
really good.
dirty soda. So, yeah, they got through it. Josh, I think, was feeling pretty good. According to the Duke, he had a sample, and then Josh just kind of shoveled it all in after that, took care of business. So, yeah, it looks like it's a pretty good menu down there.
All right.
I think this is like it's a great helmet, obviously, to come with the nachos here. They got to do the little one with ice cream as well.
Well, buddy, that helmet is the old, we had when I was a kid, they used to have those, put it up again while you're on screen on YouTube. Yes, those, like the plastic kind of helmets. It looks like, old school 80s guys would wear those, with the batting helmets. Now they've got like a comes down like a sideburn, sometimes right the way in front of your mouth. There's a lot more protection, but those are the old ones. Those are unreal. And I remember I had a Philadelphia Phillies one, an Expo one, and a Blue Jays one as a kid. God, we had them for the longest time, man. They were unreal. So I love that they've got those for the Riverhawks. So, which is fantastic. And always a good game at a good night, good evening. Obviously today it's an afternoon game down at Remax Field for the Riverhawks. So it'll be it's gonna be a great season, man. I know that they've got a lot of games that tough to get some tickets to. So tomorrow night, of course, their last game against Victoria, and then they've got 3 home games, 7 o'clock Friday and Saturday, and 1:05 on Sunday. That's kind of the schedule. And then they're off on the road for a bit, and then they return home on the 26th of June. So you got 4 more days if you want to catch some Riverhawks game before you have a few weeks off. Let's take a quick break. We'll return. We'll find out, what does Portzline know? What else is in this potential investigation for Columbus? We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of electrician school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrions weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
"Wow, great hair transplant."
I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next Nice Day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include Drought Fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
I'm good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
222 rolling through. Had a little bit of a rain come here quickly through the west end just before we came on the air, but looks like it's cleared up. Right now, a lot of precipitation in the weather, kind of in and out. So be prepared. Might get it. Hey, Greg, you're bang on, man. I love those old school helmets. Yeah, they were awesome. Loved them. I think it's a fantastic decision by the Riverhawks to bring them back. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Casino, sports, lottery, instance, all in one shop at PlayAlberta.ca. And we are going to go to Columbus. Aaron Portzline, longtime beat reporter for the Columbus Blue Jackets, will join us as there is lots to discuss in Columbus, specifically on the conversations regarding Mike Babcock, because the NHL now and NHLPA, if the Oilers and Babcock do want to continue going down the path, then there's going to be an investigation into some things that they uncovered back in 2023, but were never made public. And at the time, I guess, when Babcock resigned, they felt like, well, there's no need to go any deeper. He's not coaching, so we move on. But now, 3 years later, if he wants to get back in, the NHLPA is like, well, now we got to investigate to see if everything that we were told is factual and truthful. So how long is that investigation going to take? I have no idea. They don't seem to have an idea, so we'll see. So really, at the end of the day, the Oilers aren't any closer on a head coach, in case you're wondering, because now there's another delay in it. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, and it's back, baby. $1 cones. Download the McDonald's app and get a cone for $1 all summer long, only through the McDonald's app. As Aaron Portzline, longtime beat reporter for the Columbus Blue Jackets, joins us. Aaron, my man, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. There's lots happening. So the 2023 investigation, obviously you covered it, and Babcock got hired on July 1st and then resigned on September 15th, never ended up coaching a game for the Blue Jackets. And, a lot of people felt like, well, it had to do with asking players to show them their phone and going through pictures and stuff like that. Now it turns out that there was something more that we don't know about. Do you have any idea what that more is?
Well, let me be clear. I do not know what that something more would be, and I'm certainly not challenging or doubting the veracity of the more. I believe those reports. I have no understanding that there was something beyond what was made public at the time. It makes me raise an eyebrow a bit, because if there was something more, well, there's still something more that's not going to go away. Why would it be better in 2026 than it was in 2023? And apparently the league, whatever it was, knew about it then, if there was a thing. I don't understand how that would work. How, if it was so bad in 2023 that it was better to resign rather than to face it or let it be aired publicly. I'll be curious to see how it could be somehow possible and would allow this to move forward. That's a question that I would have.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just kind of wild, Aaron, the whole thing that, from that time in Columbus, like I remember reading the stories from you because you were all over it at the time. Like, obviously it's something that we hadn't really seen. And, there had been, I remember Columbus, when it came out on Spitting Chicklets, and then Columbus came out and booed Jenna. They're like, no, this isn't how it happened. And then the NHL did an investigation, and then they said, well, okay, you're gone. And then nothing else was really said about it, right? Like Columbus themselves, and now you were obviously closer to it than I was at then, but like it kind of just went away, and they didn't really ever explain why. Because even though Columbus, like I think it was the day after, the next day or 2 days after from that Spitting Chicklets with Bissonnette, and they said, no, this isn't the case. And they did an investigation, and then suddenly he'd resigned.
There's so much confusion about it. First of all, there were people who just outright denied it when Paul Bissonnette of the Spittin' Chicklets, well, you all know who he is, on the Spittin' Chicklets podcast brought it forward, there were players at the team said, "This is a gross mischaracterization." That's exactly how they said it. No, this is being terribly misconstrued. I can't believe people would take it this way. Now, it all happened so quickly, right? So I think we correctly gave those people who said those things a voice, and also allowed Bissonnette, who never changed the story, to his credit, said, no, I stand by it. This is what it was. He was right. Those players later said they were speaking of their experiences. They knew how it went for them. A lot of those guys met with Babcock right after he got the job, early July. Some of these other players, maybe the younger players, met with them closer to training camp. And I do believe that veteran players were handled. Babcock has a history of this, most coaches do, differently than the younger players were handled. So either those guys were covering for the coach and for the team and just wanting it to go away, or they had a different experience than some of the other guys, the younger guys that went. But after Babcock was changed, the players talked pretty openly about having a team meeting, having a meeting with the PA, having a heart-to-heart among themselves where they saw a different aspect of all of this, and their eyes were opened up to what some other guys went through, and everybody was on board. And they even talked about being a stronger team on the other side. But let me tell you, Jason, when they started training camp like 2 days later, and you could ask any question you wanted about the Babcock situation, and you were not getting an answer. It was like it just was not to be talked about. Completely moved on. I think there were some different opinions in the room and in the building, and I think there still are people who were there then who maybe didn't agree with the decision that was made, and a lot of guys who thought it was the only decision that could have been made. And it was pretty clear. You could ask about it all day. I'm sure we rankled more than a few people bugging him about it. But it was, I'm not talking about that. We're looking forward under the new coach, and we're going to act like that never even happened.
Yeah. Turning to the Blue Jackets themselves, their season came close again, but they didn't make the playoffs. What do you feel is the main focus of the offseason for the Blue Jackets?
I would say it is the focus that probably 26 other teams in the league have, and that's finding a top six impact forward. So good luck with that. See how they can pull that off with free agency as it is. I think it would have to be via trade. So, yeah, that's where they're at. I think they feel like they need more firepower up front. I think they'd like a backup goalie to work with Greaves and move along from Merzlikins. I think their back end top four is fairly set, but there could be some movement on the depths of that. The third pair, maybe the number 7. I don't think anything too crazy, except they would like to add some jump up front. And again, there's a ton of competition for those guys.
When you look at Jet Greaves, Merzlikins has 1 year left at 5.4. Greaves is now an RFA, and you know what? Has played very well for Canada at the World Championships. What kind of number and term are you thinking that he gets in goal for Columbus?
Well, I think I feel like he's proven himself this year. Certainly his numbers look like a number 1 goalie. And to be frank with you, he's been up now parts of 4 different seasons. Never looked out of place to me, but I do know there are some goalie experts. There's some people in the game much longer than I am that don't feel that he's quite proven himself as a number 1 yet. They're wary of his size. He's only 6 feet, which used to be a big goalie. Now it's a small one. So, I think they'll walk him up. I would have to think they're into his UFA years. He's 25 now. I spent some time in the AHL, so he's not that young anymore, but I could see them buying their way into some UFA years. So I think a 4 or 5 year contract. The one thing you don't worry about him is his preparedness and who he is as a person and a player. The guy, he is just about the gold standard. He's just an absolutely grounded, wonderful kid, one of the favorite players in the room for most of the guys. So there's no question there. I think they see him as a 50 to 55 game player, and I think he's a 4 year, guy and maybe get somewhere between 5 and 7. Is that crazy?
Yeah, no, probably not. I could see it for sure. Now, you look at Columbus, that they've got an interesting potential offseason. So you got Boone Jenner, Mason Marchment, Danton Heinen. They're all UFAs, as well as Gabranson on the back end. And then you got Fantilli, Sillinger are RFAs, as well as Jet Greaves. So I guess let's start maybe with the RFAs and Sillinger and Fantilli. 21 ages for Fantilli, 23 for Sillinger. Two younger guys. I think they've liked where they're going in their development, specifically Fantilli. What type of numbers, is Fantilli the obvious guy they want to go long-term with? Is he interested in going long-term?
I think they'd like to go long-term with both of them. I think the one that may be reluctant to go long-term, and I would understand it, is Fantilli. As much as the numbers are growing up, he's a 30-goal guy. That's the guy that, if he has another season like that, could be easily in the double digits, easily. And we're talking 8-figure guys. He starts putting up 30-goal seasons. Became a really good two-way guy this year for them. Their number one center is Monahan backpedaled a bit. I think it's a 2-year deal if they go short-term.
Okay.
Because I don't think they want him 1 year away from arbitration and a 1-year finding. You see how guys are using their leverage now, right? I think you have to be super wary of that, especially in a market like Columbus. So if it's short term, I would suspect it's 2 years. If they get their wish and they find the right number, I think they'll go. Is this the last summer for 8, or are we at 7 after July 1st? I think it's 7 after July 1st.
I think it's technically 8 up until September 15th, because that's
so
when the new CBA kicks in.
Okay. So they'd like to go 8 if they could. Rather the player wants to go 6 or 8 on a long term. I just think with the way that the numbers are going up and the way his opportunity is before him, that might be seen as a risk. So we'll see.
What about Boone Jenner and Mason Marchment as UFAs? Either returning, both testing the market? What happens?
My sense is that Marchment is going to be the hardest of their guys, their UFAs, to sign. I'm including Goodbranson in that list. I think they're talking to Don Waddell a couple days ago. They're still talking to those guys, which is interesting to me. But I get the sense that Marchment's trying to hit it big, and it's probably the right UFA year for him to do it with the limited market. He really hasn't. You look through his career, he really hasn't had the huge payday.
Yeah.
So this would be his shot at that, I think. Not that it's going to be huge, but it's going to be significant. And it's a good market for him. Jenner's a little bit different. Jenner's changed agents, which I think is always an interesting tell. A few weeks before free agent, he was with Joe Resnick forever. He's now with Pat Morris. So that's done for a reason. I'm not precisely sure what the reason is, but I think you can assume the offers aren't what maybe someone wanted them to be. I think he's going to want term, and I'm not sure the Blue Jackets are in that setting to give him long term. But again, the last check, they were still talking. It would be a tough one to see Boone Jenner wearing a sweater other than the Blue Jackets. I've been covering the team for a long time, ever since they got here. And it's very strange. Boone's just been here for so long. He's one of those guys. It's hard to even remember a time when he wasn't here, it feels like. He's sort of been the embodiment of this franchise, a guy that, he's absolutely a legend in town, and if people love him, it would be tough for many to see him move on. But that's starting to, I think, look a little more realistic here.
How much do you think Boone Jenner's got left? Is he like a really good third-line center, or is he a low-end second? Where do you see him?
I think he is a winger at this point in his career. He can still win a face-off. Really good at the face-off dot. Still one of the most competitive players in the league. And full respect, that guy does everything he can every year to make himself a little bit better, because keeping pace of the game has always been a challenge for him. And every summer he takes another half step toward keeping himself going. I think he's got 2-3 years left for sure, but as a winger, and I think depending upon the way that your team is put together, I think he's probably a third line winger. I think if you need a wall guy, if you need someone down below winning pucks, net front, I think if there's skill in the other two spots, I think you could use him in a second line setting. But it's not an easy play at center anymore like it used to be. Just the pace of the game is just, man, it's left so many guys behind, and it's such a challenge for so many veteran players. But I learned a long time ago to not count Boone Jenner out, because that guy's played through just about everything, and he keeps showing up and he keeps producing. So, yeah, there's a ton of teams interested in him. They get more calls annually at the trade deadline on Boone Jenner than just about any other player.
Yeah,
because a lot of playoffs see him, and boy, I think that'd be fun to plug into their mix.
Lastly, Voronkov. How did his last season go? What was lacking? How much of it was injury related? And what's their expectation on what he can bring next year?
It's funny. I was just talking about him with one of the broadcasters, saying the same thing. There is so much there. I mean, it's crazy. When he came over from Russia, I remember Kirill Marchenko asking him about him before he got here, and Marchenko saying, I am the skilled Russian. Igor Chinnikov, now with Pittsburgh, is the cute Russian, and Voronkov is the mean Russian. and smiling when he said it. And Voronkov's first shift against Montreal, I thought we were going to be covering the next Ty Domi. It was absolutely maniacal. And since then, he's just been a guy. I mean, he can pound the PISS out of people. He's a hell of a net front guy. But all of this physical battle, all of this hard to play against stuff, I don't know where it's gone. And it stayed from the start of the season to the end. At the end of the season, now 3 years in a row, they have felt unable to play him more than 10, 12 minutes a game most nights without him really losing his verve, his jump. He can't keep pace by the end of the season is the problem. So they've got to get to the end of that. The sense is he shows up in shape at the start of the season and loses it as it goes. But I'm telling you, he's 6'4", 220 pounds. He moves pretty darn well when he's fully engaged and healthy and in shape. He's got really good hands. There's a 25, 30 goal scorer there. I'm not exaggerating. He's put up those numbers.
Yeah.
It could be a 100 plus PIMS type guy. Ask the Washington Capitals about fighting him. Check those videos out. It's all there. It has not come together again, but they almost had him traded last year in the Noah Dobson deal. To the point. Excuse me. They got to get him going, and he's got to be a big part of this, because he's. I don't know that they can get help out there that's going to be commensurate to his talent.
Yeah, he is a player. Like when I watch him and I see the size and the toughness, I'm like, God, this guy could be an absolute force. But the hardest thing for lots of players is to bring consistency in their game. And it seems like that I don't think he misses talent, right? He doesn't have a lack of size or anything. It's just finding that consistency. It's the hardest thing to do.
100%. It's a hard game, man. It's hard. And it's for some of these guys, they can only keep it up for so long. And it takes, you see him at the end of the season, he's got his hands on his knees during stoppages. And they haven't quite figured out how to get him fully engaged for a full 82. But he could be a wrecking ball if they ever get him there.
Awesome stuff, Aaron. We really appreciate it. Thanks for your time as always, and have a great day.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, man.
There you go. Care. That's Aaron Portzline joining us from Columbus, writes for The Athletic. No one better when it comes to covering the Blue Jackets than Porty. Quick break. We'll come back. We got a lot of text to get to, lots of stats of the day and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
The Riverhawks are back. This week brings a Theater Kid Takeover, a cottage-themed Pride Night, and Sunday's Summertime Santa Toy Drive for Santa's Anonymous. Don't miss the party at the ballpark. Get tickets at gohawks.ca.
Just in time for the big game, score big savings at the Brick. Save up to $1,300 off sofas, up to 25% off bedroom and dining packages, plus save up to 40% on select mattresses. And buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off select major appliances. Watch Team Canada score big on a big screen TV, up to 50% off open box electronics. See store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. They may be teeny tiny, but chinch bugs can completely devastate your lawn or garden. If you have yellowing grass that doesn't improve with watering, you may already have them. At Green Drop, we'll identify them, treat them, and help you recover from the damage before it's out of control. Stop chinch bugs cold with Green Drop Lawn Care, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Find out more and get started at greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2.46. Oh, power of love. We need it sometimes, don't we? World's always a little bit better place when you got some of that going on. Sometimes, especially if it's a little bit of a new love. Enjoy that. Old love's great too. Don't worry about it. A little bit more consistent, shall we say. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. A lot of texts flying in to get to those. Hey, Gregor, would you have any interest in bringing in Boone Jenner? I would, but not if he wants term. That's going to be the concern. And I'm sure like this could be a player's market. You look at McCarron just got $3.3 million for 6 years. Now, he adds a unique time. And that's why I told people, I said, hey, the term for Frederic you're never going to like. I do think his AAV over time, people will be like, man, okay, not horrible. The term, it's going to be really difficult to age well on that 7 more years. I understand it. So if I look at a guy like Boone Jenner, who I like how Boone Jenner plays, competitive, fairly responsible, can chip in for your team, no question. The concern is he played 67 games last year. The year before he played 26. The year before that he played 58. The year before that he played 68. The year before that he played 59. Like, I'm sorry, he misses too many games. I can't sign him, who he is turning 33 in 5 days. And so think about it. He missed 15 games, missed 56 games. Then he missed 24 games. Then he missed 14 games. Then he missed 23 games. That's my concern on Boone Jenner. When he plays, like, guy scored 23 goals in 59 games, 26 goals in 68 games, 22 goals in 58 games, 7 goals in 25 games. Like, he can score. I have no debate on that. He can be a productive player. The problem is, can the Oilers sign a player like that who clearly has a history of being injured? Like, he hasn't played a full season. He did play the full season in the 2020 season. He played 70 games that got postponed. Then the next year, 56 games, he only played 41. I think he did miss some due to COVID, so not an injury. But after that, he's just 5 straight years when you're missing at least 14 games, 14, 15, 23, 24, and 56. It's just too much. I can't commit. I couldn't commit more than 3 years to Boone Jenner. And even though, he'll look and you want to prorate his stats and everything, the fact of the matter is the odds are low that he's going to play 70 games for you. He hasn't played 70 games since 2020. So, yeah, I like Boone Jenner. I don't like his injury history. And at times for the Oilers, availability for some of their better guys, key guys, that's been a concern. Now, I don't think that, Draisaitl, McDavid are injury prone by any stretch of imagination. I'm just saying, do you want to sign a guy who has a clear recent history, 5 years, not 1 year, 5 years of missing time? So I would say no. I don't see it. Gregor, I think any of those Blue Jackets UFAs of the Oilers, I think his plan is out the window if Babcock is in the fold from Dustin. Wow. I don't want to play the what-if game. We'll see. If the Oilers can sign him, then we'll talk about who it is. And honestly, it's a fair point, though, to bring up that some players might not want to go there. Now, Boone Jenner came out after the initial allegation by Biz Nasty and said, no, this is how it happened. And he's probably right when he talks about his own personal experience, because that's the track record of Babcock. He doesn't go after the leaders of the team. Doesn't bully them. It's others. So Boone Jenner's probably like, hey, man, my personal interaction, no problem. But he did it to others, and that's always a fine line. I'm sure there's people out there that have pick a name of someone, and you're like, hey, you know what? I met the guy, we talked, met him a few times. I had a really good interaction. Someone else tells you, well, actually, he did this, this, and this, and you're like, oh, geez, that's just not great. But sometimes you're like, yeah, but to me, it was okay. And it's hard sometimes to shake that. Now, depending on what it was, of course, right? Like, there's certain things. So we don't know exactly what unfolded. It wasn't just the pictures, according to reports from Sarah Valley and others. Hey, Gregor, Matthew Nyes was available at the deadline. What would a package look to acquire him from Daniel? Well, did you see what the package was at the deadline? It was like 2 first-round picks and young players. Like, Edmonton doesn't have that because, A, they don't have a first-rounder this year, and they don't have a first-rounder next year. So I like Matthew Nyes. I'd take him on my team all day. I just don't see that Edmonton would have a package based on what the alleged package, and I didn't see anybody refute what the suggested package was, even saying that he was available at the time. So I don't think Edmonton would like the player. I don't think they can get the player based on what, like, if you didn't make the trade then, although you were going to make the trade allegedly, and then supposedly that you didn't get the facts in on time, then you kind of have like, hey, that's the minimum of what we're going to take on any trade now. It's not like Matthew and I's got worse from that time until today, right? I don't see that at all. So, hey, Gregor, does the Oiler management have their own plan on how to win the cup? Or are they trying to recreate the Wayne Gretzky years? It just seems to me that they're trying to recreate the Gretzky years from Christian. Oh, I don't see that at all. The Gretz, you can't recreate the Gretzky years because you're talking about a team that won in their 5th season in the NHL. And they went to the cup in their 4th season and lost to the team that had won 4 in a row, the New York Islanders. And then they won. And how did they build that team? They essentially, they got Gretzky in the kind of the expansion draft and really in a sale. And so he wasn't even eligible to go in the draft, so they got him. Then they drafted Kevin Lowe and Mark Messier and Glenn Anderson and Yari Curry and Andy Moog and Grant Fuhr. And they drafted all of those players in the first few years of the draft. So no, I don't believe that Edmonton is even remotely considering trying to recreate the Gretzky years because you can't. When you look at it just from a draft simple perspective, if we're going to say, like, because McDavid's draft year, well, I guess they got Bouchard in 2018. He's a pretty good player. But, Lowe, Messier, Anderson in one draft, Edmonton's never had that. And then you had Curry and Coffey. Those 5 and Moog, those 6 players. And then, oh, by the way, the next year they took Grant Fuhr and Steve freaking Smith. 8 players in a 3-year span. The Oilers don't have that. Their best guys drafted have come from 2011 with Nuge. He's not the main guy, but Gretzky, Draisaitl. Sure, you go there. You're going from like 2013 to 2018. So no, they're not building the team like that now at all. That team was tough. They could score, but they were tough. You can't recreate it. It's a total different time. Salary cap, everything else. I don't see them doing that at all. So. Hey, Gregor, first off, I agree with everything you're saying about Babcock. And do not believe he should get a big chance. But if he does, and they do hire him, will you concede and show support, or does this draw the line for you? Well, Walt, what do you mean show support? How do I show? What am I going to say? Oh, Mike Babcock's a good guy? No. I'll say, hey, the Oilers hired him. Now we'll see what he does. But it's not my job to show support. There's nowhere in my job description says I have to support decisions by the Elks or the Oilers or the Riverhawks. That's not how it works. So my opinion will not change. It's not going to impact my ability to do my job. Right? Opening press conference, some questions I would ask. After that, in the season, we'll ask questions based on what they do on the ice. Now, will I be monitoring closely? Yes, I would. 100%. Because you can say whatever you want in the initial press conference. Actions will speak louder than words. Who knows? Maybe he finally changes. And if he does, I hope he would. Because I'm sorry, like that, I just can't see that being a great way. But I guess I'd love to know kind of what led to thinking that was the way you needed to do things to be successful. And Speck brought up a good point. So if you can't do those things, will he feel like he's a good coach? If he can't belittle and bully some of his players, does he feel he can still coach? I don't know the answer to that. No one does. Because when you talk great tactician and everything that he was, which we'd all agree he's done, part of that, you can't just take away the personality trait. Because for him, he's like, I can get the best out of guys, having them scared spitless. And when I'm bullying some guys and the other guys get attention, maybe that's how he thinks. I don't know. right? Because, and the other thing is, he's never admitted that he crossed the line. So if he doesn't admit he crossed the line, I have zero interest in giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't see why I would. Why would anybody? Everybody deserves a second, or in this case, third chance, if you're willing to show and admit that you do it. So. Hey, Gregor, any idea why you think the players would agree to it? I can only speculate on that. I haven't talked to any player who, the leadership group. I'll say this. Zach Hyman had him as a coach in Toronto. And he'll probably say, hey, man, for me, it was great. I got to play a lot. I had success. I didn't see anything personal. Right? Yeah, okay, did the Mitch Marner thing. But then it wasn't just the Mitch Marner thing. He also did it to the trainers. So, the truth of the matter is, I can't truly, at the end of the day, I always try to remind myself, when you're talking to certain NHL players, they just live in a different world. They view things differently. They just do, right? Like they're in a multi-millionaire world where, they're ultra focused on one thing, which is their hockey career. And that's fine. To be successful in lots of different businesses, you got to be ultra focused on your business. Ask any business owner out there sometimes. Your focus can be your best attribute, but at times it can be your worst attribute at the same time. Because maybe you're so focused on doing your job that sometimes maybe your family suffers from it and other different things. Right? You try to find the balance. Right? When people say work-life balance, there's truth to it, but it varies from everybody. Everybody has a different one that works for them. And what works for me might not work for the next person. And what works for them won't work for me. So I'm always cognizant of, I can't really put myself in their shoes because I'm not in their shoes. I don't know how they think. I can ask them questions. I can get an idea on some things, but I'd be lying if I came on here and try to say, well, I think they agreed to Babcock because of this. I don't know until I talk to them. And even then, I don't know if they could describe, well, you know what? I had good interactions with him. And here's the thing. So when they talk to him, Mike Babcock's not an idiot. So you know what? He's got a psychology degree, educated guy. A lot of people can say things that you want to hear or say things that make you feel comfortable and make you believe that it's going to come true. Because inherently, I think most people naturally will want to see the good. It's why our society struggles so much with sexual abuse, because it's so awful. Most people can't wrap their head around that someone would do it. So they'll naturally gravitate without even knowing it to wanting to believe the perpetrator, because they can't, I can't believe the victim. Nobody would do that. That just can't happen because we're not wired that way. So in the meetings, you talk to him and he says all the right things. Yeah, I've learned, you know what? I did this and that wasn't right. And I've learned from it. And the person's like, okay, well, guess what? He's showing some maturity and he's showing some self-awareness. Okay, great. So, but that's just speculation. I can't say anything certain for sure. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're looking for a summer ride? Maybe you need a new one? Maybe you just retired and you're like, man, I got to treat myself. Well, they have over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. Do some fun shopping. Pick your color. Who knows? Maybe you're getting your graduate a graduating present. Pretty good present, by the way. You get it all. GoAuto.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Mike Babcock saga continues as the NHL is moving ahead with its investigation on the former head coach following a request from the NHL Players Association. The investigation is in regard to allegations Babcock invaded players' privacy during his brief time with the Blue Jackets in 2023. There is no timeline for the investigation to be completed, as members of the 2023 team will need to be interviewed. In the association, Game 4 tonight from MSG, Knicks and Spurs tip-off at 6:30. New York beating that series 2-1. Major League Baseball today, Blue Jays in action hosting the Phillies. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor show. Right now, Reds up on the Padres 2-1 in the fourth. And in the fifth, Giants trailing the Nationals 2-0. Earlier today was the Rays over the Red Sox 5-7, and the Yankees doubled up the Guardians by a score of 8-4. Down at Remax, the Riverhawks fell to Victoria 8-5 today. They'll wrap up the series tomorrow at 7. And in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs adding 2 years to quarterback Patrick Mahomes' contract, keeping him in pace through the 2033 season. The contract will now average $64 million per year, which is a new record for AAV. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick, and TSN's Matthew Janetti will join us to preview the World Cup. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Yes, it's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October.
Day, afternoon. How are you? And
spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at ProSolutionsInc.ca.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
Looking for a truck that can handle anything Alberta throws your way? Wolf GMC Buick has the offers to get you behind the wheel. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 models. Plus, trade in an eligible 2015 or newer pickup and receive a $1,000 truck trade-in bonus on select Sierra models. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
It's Canadian Tire's summer big red sale. Up to 50% off. Dude, I'm soaked. I mean, they told us to make a big splash, so I did.
Save up to 50% at Canadian Tire's summer big red sale, June 4th to 11th. Exclusions apply. Details online.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton sports leader, Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
After 3 o'clock, how you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca. Happy hump day. Hope you're making it a great day. Of course, tonight, NBA fans, you got a little Knicks and Spurs. Pivotal game 4. Knicks trying to go up 3-1. Spurs trying to even it up, make it a best of 3. And they would have 2 of the final 3 games at home. Considering if they win tonight, then the road team will win all 4. But is that going to continue? I'd still rather be in a best of 3 and have 2 out of 3 games at home. Even though I haven't won there yet, I'd still be saying, hey, because my time's coming. So this is a big game. Tonight, Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And we've got some Jason Gregor Show odds boost picks up at PlayAlberta.ca, including tonight's game. Also, a little Jays action. And speaking of the Toronto Blue Jays, we got some numbers we're going to get into now in our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. Neighborhood renewal projects. That's what they do. They instill new street lighting systems, helping shape and build Edmonton communities. That is All-Star Construction. So let's start with it. Did you know Max Scherzer is back on the mound tonight? And Mad Max is 1 strikeout away from 3,500 strikeouts. He is currently 11th all-time with 3,499. He is 10 back of Walter Johnson. He is 35 back of Gaylord Perry for 9th. Now, Justin Verlander, who's also active, he's in 8th with 3,554. So Max Scherzer, realistically, if he could stay healthy here, I think he's likely. He's going to pass Johnson for sure, and most likely passes Gaylord Perry, and then moves into the top 9. Then after that, he'd have to pitch for a while to catch Don Sutton, who is 20 ahead currently of Verlander. But that's a pretty damn impressive number for Mad Max, man. I also love the Wolf Eye. It's sick. So if you're watching tonight, 3,500 strikeouts for Max. Now, speaking of big numbers, Freddie Freeman got his 2,500th hit last night. He became the 102nd MLB player to reach 2,500 hits. He's the only active player at 2,500 hits. Jose Altuve has 2,430. He should get there later this year. But Freeman, he is, I mentioned he's at 2,500. Jimmy Ryan, 25-13, Buddy Bell, 25-14, Joe Morgan, 25-17, and Todd Helton, 25-19. And then Heine Manish at 25-24. So if Freddie gets 25 more hits this year, which I fully expect him to, then he moves in there. Garrett Anderson probably catches him at 2,500. But look at the numbers and how they go up. So he's at 2,500 career hits. There's 102 of them. 83 players have 2,600 career hits. 69, nice, have 2,700. 52 have 2,800. 41 players have 2,900 plus. And 33 players have 3,000. Roberto Clemente is right at the 3,000 mark. He's 33rd. There's 2 players over 4,000. Ty Cobb, 4,189. And, of course, the all-time leader, Pete Rose, at 4,256. So considering, no active player is higher than Freddie Freeman, he's at 2,500. It's going to be a long, long time. I don't think anyone's ever going to catch Pete Rose. You would have to have 200 hits for 20 years. 200 hits a year for 20 years just to get to 4,000. It's like when we talk about other records that might never be broken, that's got to be up there, man. It has to be. I mentioned Brett Howden set the Vegas record for most goals in a single playoff last year with 14. He has a chance here, at least 2 more games, because we know it's going at least 6. He could tie Crosby, Ovechkin, and Bennett, who each had 15, and Hyman, who had 16 for most goals in the last 30 years in the NHL playoffs. And I think if we put a hand up of who's the most unexpected 14-goal scorer in the NHL playoffs, Brett Howden. And he would probably agree with you. He's like, yeah, dude, I didn't expect score 14 goals either. But man, did you see his goal last night? Like that guy, it's amazing what confidence does to players. He comes in, pull in, snapshot, boom, top cheese. Confidence is a crazy thing in sports, man. Because now Howden was a good scorer in junior. He could score, but you get to the NHL and you're like, hey, more of a third line guy. I'm a checker. I'm a penalty killer. Awesome. You kind of fit into your role. But you don't necessarily lose that ability. You just don't try some of the moves. You don't try certain things when you're not scoring as often. All of a sudden now, you got 14 goals in the playoffs. Man, that net looks like a soccer goal probably. And you're just like, hey, why don't we try a little toe drag, shoot through the leg all the time? It is wild how it changes a little bit for some players. Also, if you're watching the Knicks game tonight, Karl Anthony Towns was 0 for 6 in the fourth quarter of game 3. And he come up big in games 1 and 2. They need him down the stretch. As good as Jalen Brunson is, you can't just have one guy score all the points in the fourth quarter. If there's one player I think that's got to step up, because I'm going to assume this is going to be another close game, right? We haven't seen a lot of blowouts in this game, like 10 points in the first one, sure. Then it was 1. Then it was 4 last game, right? Was it 4? Yeah, it was 4. So I look at this. I expect it to be a tight game. They need Towns in the fourth quarter. You need him all game, of course, but you get into crunch time in the NBA, he's going to need to be better. No question about it. Carter Hart became the first goalie in NHL playoff history in the Stanley Cup Final to allow 4 goals in each of the first 4 playoff games. Stanley Cup Final games. It is, it's not a stat that you would love, but it just kind of illustrates, how it is. He's allowed 16 goals in the series. 4 on 29, 4 on 26, 4 on 33, 4 on 27. It's had save percentages of 846, 852, 862, and 879. Right? Not ideal. But like there hasn't been a lot of what I'd call like really weak goals. But right now, Vegas is struggling in limiting Carolina to score. They basically got to score 5 to win, which they've done twice. Can they do it twice more? Maybe. There's nothing to say they can't, considering how the series has gone. But it is something that I think they would like to improve on. And it is a reminder of goaltending. Like, look at, and the crazy part about it was Carter Hart came into the Stanley Cup Final, and against Utah, he had 3 games in a row where he allowed 4. They won 2 of those games, though. But after the Utah series, then he went 1 goal, 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, 4 against Anaheim, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. Like, they were playing great, and all of a sudden, you get to Carolina, man, and they can't stop him. And it's not just the goalie. It's the team. Right? They're giving up too much. So we'll see how it goes. But a record you don't want if you are Carter Hart, for sure. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Eight 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg, did you hear anything else on Darnell Nurse? Nothing. Been pretty quiet there. And I've said my piece on Darnell Nurse. I have no problem if you want to trade Darnell Nurse. I can understand it, but you can't just give him away. This theory of, well, yeah, but you free up the cap space to use on what? The free agent market is not very deep, and it sure as hell ain't going to be cheap, at least for the first few days of free agency. It's always that way. Probably it's going to be even more this year because there's fewer players. So some teams are going to get more desperate and be more aggressive to get a guy. We came in hoping to pay the guy $5 million. all of a sudden he walks away with a $6.25 million contract. It won't surprise me at all because supply and demand. And right now, I think there's a little bit more demand than supply. So you're going to, geez, I think this guy's a third liner, but we're probably going to have to pay him like a second liner because we really need a third. We really need another center. So I have, again, trade Darnell Nurse. But just remember, Darnell Nurse, one of his best assets is he's in the game. Don't underestimate that. Jake Wallman missed 29 games last year alone. Darnell Nurse has missed 18 games in the last 9 seasons. He's played the third most minutes in the NHL over that time. I know he has areas of his game that are frustrating. I see it. I get frustrated too. I'm like, can the guy not cover a guy in front of the net properly? Why cross-check in the back, cover up his stick? I get it. But there's lots of other things he does well. You can't just evaluate a player on what he doesn't do. You have to evaluate him on what he does. And then you got to weigh it to say, okay, well, we don't like this. Yeah, he does this well. If you're going to make a trade for him, you can't come out of the trade being a worse team on the ice just because you have saved cap space. Because where are you going to spend the cap space? And then if you say, well, Gregor, I'll just trade from that defenseman. Okay, now you're giving up more assets to get that defenseman. So that's kind of I think the trick there. Keep in mind, in the playoffs, Nurse played the most 5-on-5 minutes of any Oilers defenseman. The best goal for against at 7-3. He's not awful. He's got some limitations to his game. Fair. I think his processing of the game at times can be frustrating. But I wouldn't just give him up for nothing. Because if you think, hey, can Echo and Wallman be top 4 guys? Yes. But are they going to be top 4 guys in 70 of the 80 games where both of them are in? And I just said 70. I think that's still 12 games. What if it's only 60? Wallman missed 29 games last year. Then he's missed 23. He's missed 24. Missed 17. Missed 19. I talked earlier about Boone Jenner. My concern would be a history of injuries. Well, it's similar with Wallman. One of your best abilities is dependability. Get in the game. Availability. Nurse, you can be frustrated with him, but he plays. And he's always available. And when a guy plays 20 minutes a night, they're not all Picassos, but there's lots of shifts that are good. So I haven't heard anything on it. And the Oilers cannot afford to make the same mistake in moving Nurse that the return or the cost is what they did to move Stuart Skinner, because that did not work. And that's not hindsight. Connor will attest. The day it happened, I was like, eek. Debating with lots of people online. Suddenly they're not as vocal about that one anymore. I was like, be careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. Again, no problem if you want to trade Nurse. I could see why. But I can't downgrade my team when I do it. When we come back, Jason Strudwick will join us. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business. For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Puck Drop Special at Papa John's, a large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PuckDrop at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Happy Hump Day. Gregor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Talk a little hoops with those two later on in the show. Gregor Show always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. We got some CFL, NBA, MLB, little Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for you. So check it out. PlayAlberta.ca. It is time for Struds On, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in Alberta, growing, diversifying, to become one of the most diversified electrical contractors with 4 divisions now in project service, testing, and solar. That's actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea, and it is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you hand me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds on.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. I mean, you need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds on.
$327. Struddy, good afternoon. How you doing?
Great. How you guys doing today?
Woo. Living the dream, buddy. Living the dream. Where do you come out on the potential Babcock?
I was floored when I heard the name. I got a couple texts the other day in the morning and just kind of giving me the heads up, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. And a couple of reasons, Greg's. One was the report from Darren Gregor that he spoke to him or texted him, and he said that he was retired. So I just take people at their word. Okay, he's retired. And then I thought he wasn't even in the running. And then you move to the way it's ended. The last couple stops have been, kind of shrouded in mystery. So I didn't know he was an option, right, at all. Then you start hearing how it's come about, and the players are on board, and they're actually really into it, or the leadership group is. So it's a surprise. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. There's a lot of things that are going on around it, but what's the goal? So it's clearly Babcock he knows the game. He understands that, but I feel from talking to people, he's very strict on the details of the game and how you play it. And maybe that's what it sounds like that's what the leadership group, players, management, and ownership are looking for that. And that is what he delivers. He brings that strict attention to detail. And if that's what you want, that is what he provides as a coach.
Yes, the technical side. And then there's the other side of Babcock that he provides chaos and uncertainty for guys lower in the lineup. That's just been proven from team to team to team, right? So that's where they have to look. Now, maybe he's changed, Struddy, but a few quick calls the last few days, because I didn't look into it at the time. I was like, okay, because sometimes, like I talked about earlier, we don't naturally think someone's just going to continue to be that much of a jerk. But, sometimes you look and say, you know what? Probably not going to change. He never really apologized for any of his actions. And, in Saskatchewan, I heard it was not pretty at times either. He's got a bullying trait. No one can deny that. That's just part of his personality. And so, and that's, so can he even be a good coach by stifling that? That was a question Speck asked. And I'm like, I have no idea. So, and I'm just like, that's why I would never do it. To me, it's not worth the risk. Does it not seem like this is the most unorganized coach search that we've seen in a while? We don't hear anything about Toronto other than they've interviewed 20 people. LA's, was pretty quiet, and then they hired their guy. Vancouver's is quiet. They hired Maholtra. Edmonton's just been a gong show from day one.
Yeah, it hasn't been smooth, and just from the way it was handled and Knobloch and all that, it hasn't been smooth. And I guess at the end of the day, the average fan wants to know how it works out, right? Sure. So, if they bring in Babcock and it goes really well, then people are like, okay, well, it's unfortunate for Knobloch and some other people that are involved in it. I don't want to downplay that. But if they get Babcock and this all goes back and they're able to have success, whether that's a cup or not, but you forget about it. If it doesn't go well, then it gets brought up again. But, Greg's you speak to I read your article. It was really well done there on Oilersnation and kind of refreshed my memory on some of the things that happened. When I would play, you would hear things like that, and you'd experience things like that. And you'd hear about guys' experiences. So it was not accepted, but that's just kind of the way it was. So I guess in some ways it was accepted. The league and as hockey's moved away from that type of place. I believe in direct coaching. Direct coaching is, Gregor, when I tell you to be here, this is how you do it, right? And you're very direct and clear and precise in it. Now, when it oversteps that and you're browbeating someone or going past that, I don't really see the value in that. No, I had that happen to me. And listen, I'm fine. I didn't have the reaction or the issues that other people had for whatever reason. Maybe I was just lucky. I don't know what. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that as constructive
to trying to accomplish your goal, which is get players to buy into what you're doing. So, for Babcock, you have to evolve. And that's the question. How have you evolved? What have you done to evolve? What has changed? How are you going to handle this situation you had with this player in the past? Like that, those are questions I want to know. And then once you get up and running, we all kind of go back, and I'll use a hockey term. You work a lot on your skating. I worked a lot on my skating. It was great in practice. Everything was good. But then you go back to the game, and guess what happens? You get that little hitch. Or in golf, you work on it, no problem. But once you start sweating the game, and Gregor's got, $20 on this shot, the old swing gets a little tight. So we all go back to our normal thing. So that is the evolution that, you're looking for. We all want as individuals, but specifically at Babcock, have you evolved? And if so, how so?
Yeah, fair question. But even though you say it, you got to do it, right? That's the different thing, right? You talk about it, parenting. You sit down, you have a conversation with your kids. Yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, and then they don't do it. And you're like, well, saying it is one thing, doing it is very different. So now the NHL, they're going to have an investigation, which seems very obviously unorthodox. Haven't seen a situation like this. That a lot of people just assumed that okay, he had to resign because of the pitcher thing, and now we're hearing that that's actually not the reason. There was an other part of the investigation that went on. And so I'm like, well, if it wasn't comfortable by them then, what would change in 3 years to say, well, now it's okay? That's the part that I'm very curious to see if both sides continue down the road, because it sounds like they're essentially, if you read Sarah Valley's tweet, it's almost like the NHL will give you the out. If you guys want to actually, hire him, then we're going to have to do this investigation. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And the season hadn't even started. So what could have happened before that? That's and I don't want to get into the guessing game, but I've been in my mind trying to review situations that would happen in training camp as a player, as a group, a new guy coming in. Like, where's the step where something could have really gone sideways enough that was the thing that was the bigger issue? And just running through my kind of Rolodex of moments I had in training camps, it's hard to kind of picture it. So this could go any direction, right? And I think that's the challenge for the Oilers. And you mentioned the timing. How long is it take for this research into what happened? And then how does that compromise the Oilers as far as, because the new coach might say, yeah, we want to keep this player, we want to trade this player, or, get into free agency and all that. Like, the clock is ticking, and we're June 10th here. So what is it? 3 weeks away from go time with a lot of action. And if you think the draft, there might be some action, so we're less than that.
Yeah, the other one, Struddy, is the the Darnell Nurse trade. His name's out there. People are talking about, oh, maybe he gets traded, maybe he doesn't. Where do you come out on Nurse?
Well, I just heard you talking about it, and you nailed it. And you've been a big pusher of this with his availability, and he is out there all the time. He's very durable. He shows up every year in camp. He comes with the best of intentions. He's been an Oilers' whole career, and so I am worried. So if you look at it, it's Ekholm's getting older. Wallman has a history of injury, and then Stastny is a young player trying to grow. Is that who you're going to go with? Or you could say, okay, we're going to get rid of all the Nurse's contract, then we're going to go and find someone for $4 million. Okay, well, you're looking through the free agents. Are there that many guys kicking around at that $4 million mark? I don't see a ton, but I guess you can find somebody. And maybe for Wallman, it's okay, buddy, this is you. You're now our second pair, and you need to bring it in. And then what are you going to do with that money outside of it? I wonder if Darnell, does he want a fresh start? I guess that ultimately is the question. Does he want to go somewhere? Like, if I'm Darnell Nurse and they say, hey, San Jose is looking to make a move, I'm probably listening, right? Like, that team seems to be heading in the right direction. They're not there yet. I know they're a non-playoff team, but that Max Stanabrini is a player. He is the next Connor McDavid. Like, he's or right next to Connor McDavid, whatever, right below him, whatever. He's a real player, and you get to jump on another train with a fast-moving guy like that. I might take a look at it, Griggs. I might.
Yeah, no, that's fair. If I just look at San Jose, and they don't really have, I guess, unless you're going to include Ferraro, as like a sign and trade potentially in the deal. that's the only defenseman that you'd come back. And I like Ferraro, but he's 5'11", Struddy. And you know what? Like he would be a downgrade. Now, if you believe Wallman and Ekholm are then your top two, and if Ferraro's in your third pair, okay. But what's he getting paid? And then the other thing in all of this, Struddy, is there's talk about Nurse. I'm quite surprised that on June 10th, they haven't found a way to come to a contract with Connor Murphy, because I think he's the most important guy they need to re-sign.
Well, I mean, if I was Connor Murphy, who's the coach, right? I want to know who the coach is. For him, there's no rush.
Yeah.
Right? Connor Murphy's going to get a contract in the NHL, right? And he'll be sought after. Like, he's a solid. I think he actually did himself a favor by the way he played after arriving in Edmonton, to even generate, stronger interest for him. So I think he is set. But he'd want to know who the coach is, right? Who is the coach? And then he might be calling people around the league. Okay, what is Cassie like, or what's Babcock like, or Laviolette, I guess now is out of the picture. So for him, there's no rush. Like, he has no rush to do. If Knobloch was still the coach, would he have signed? We don't know, but I think there would have been a better opportunity. There would have been higher likelihood of him signing already if Knobloch was the coach. Not because he doesn't like who's coming in, because he doesn't know who's coming in still on June 10th.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Like, but you were a player, Struds. Like, did the teammates or the coach, like, does it matter that much? Especially for an established guy, maybe for a depth guy, different. But if you're Connor Murphy, you're like, hey, I'm a top 4 defenseman, right? Like on most teams in the league. Like, would it matter that much to you who the head coach was?
Well, let's say they're going to go back. Who's the guy in, you don't know who it's going to be, and you sign, and then they bring that guy. Who's the French guy that played the trap in Tampa Bay? I can see him with a big scar on his face.
Boucher.
And they're like, Boucher, yeah, like, I don't want to play that way, right?
Okay.
So I think you just want to know. And again, like, there's no rush, Craig. Like, for Connor Murphy, there's no rush to sign, right? He has right through the end of June to sign to the Oilers. Now, he might still sign here before then. I don't know, but I would always want to know the coach, because you kind of want to know the style, who I might be playing with, and the GM can tell you all kinds of things. But the coach, he is ultimately the one who pulls the levers, right? And then you might say, I'd never want to play for this coach, or I'd love to play for this coach, or whatever, right? Like, I think the coach does matter. I'd almost say the coach matters more than GM when I was selecting a team, because I want to know, what are we doing? How are we playing? Like, how are you going to use me? Things like that, no matter where you are up and down the lineup.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Jason Strudwick joins us. Struddy, as a D-man, do you have the hot sweats, or are you loving what? Because I know some people I don't like goals against, and I get it. But this has been a highly entertaining playoff, a Stanley Cup final, man. Like, it's goal-orama, no lead is safe every night.
Yeah, well, it's funny. The goaltending has been okay, not great. I think okay would be fair. So, those two guys or three guys are really struggling. Or not struggling, but trying to keep up with the pace. And what I'm seeing, Greg's, is, and I try to put myself in those defensemen's positions, like Shea Theodore on that goal last night. Like, they're under pressure all the time, so that you never get a free shift where someone's not coming at you or someone's not pressuring you. And if, you are going to make mistakes. I go back to when Svechnikov scored that OT goal against Lane Hudson, one of the best handling puck defensemen in the league. Double clutches it. Near his own blue line, bobbles it, makes a bad pass, and now it's in the back of his net. If it can happen to Lane Hudson, it can happen to anyone. So that both teams constantly put pressure on you, and it wears you down. There's some physicality, but constantly under pressure, it makes it hard. And you can make 90 great plays, but that 91st one is a bad one, like we saw last night. So I've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this series, and the NBA Final series have both been great. And I can't call it. You can tell me it's going one way or the other. It's going to end in 6-7. I have no idea. But man, are they playing well? But the one guy I think is rising above it is Jordan Staal. Like, this guy, he is showing. He's been a good player for not a great player. He's been a good player for a long time, and his performance doesn't change regular season or playoffs. That guy's a player, man. I really like him. He's been a third line center for 1,200 NHL games. It's pretty crazy.
Well, he is, man, he's huge. And really, like, where he's dominated is basically in front of the net. That's deflections, got a little lucky with the first rebound goal last night. It goes off the not even a rebound really, because it hit the Vegas defender, pops down, boom, scores. And then his second goal falling, like that looked like Struddy in men's league almost, just like tripping over his feet, falling backwards, one hands it into the net. Pretty sweet end.
Yeah, he's not as athletic as I am, and I don't want to bring the guy down. I just propped him up. But like the comments from his coach, like he's a big man and he plays a big man's game. And so, when you look around the league, we've talked about size. I know this isn't your question, but it does make a difference, right? If you have a choice between a 5'10" skilled and a 6'2" skilled, or this guy who's a skilled player, but again, he's not necessarily a top 6 player, but he is so effective in these playoffs because he doesn't get knocked around. He doesn't get pushed down. You need these big bodies. Not all of them. You need some to get to that net and make it hard for the other team, because Jordan Staal goes where he wants to go. He's not the meanest player, but he goes there. And, you look at some of those D in Vegas are having a hard time handling him. And again, he's not doing it with just pure skill. He's just going to those areas and finding a way. So what a final he's had. And what a story he can finish writing for his team.
Yeah, no question. Struddy, quickly give me your thoughts on the NBA final. Who do you like, and what are your thoughts through 3 games?
Well, just like the NHL final, I don't want it to end, buddy. I'm enjoying this so much, and I don't really know who I'm cheering for, but I'm cheering for good games. And watching this matchup between the big men against Victor Wembanyama has been so much fun. And Jalen Brunson, that building in New York is so electric. It's just so much fun to watch. And then Castle, on the Spurs, all these guys, it's just been a real treat. So I just love competitive finals. I want to see it. And so tonight, if the Knicks lose, you know what? We get 2 best of 3s in the finals of sports we both love. So I hope it happens. Now, I know our buddy Mark Majot doesn't want to hear that kind of slander, but I'm selfish. I just want to see more great plays.
Oh man, it's been awesome. I'm going Knicks, though. I think the big man Cat tonight's going to rebound after a subpar game 3. Have yourself an awesome Tuesday, Struddy. Do you think the NHL will grant permission to the Oilers to hire Babcock, or do you think they're going to, after this investigation, going to be like, no, we won't?
I think this is going to take a while. I don't know that it can happen in 48 hours, right? It's not like getting a passport done. So ultimately, I don't know, man. I put it 50-50, but I'm worried about, the outcome, but I'm also worried about the timeline. I don't think, does the NHL want to deal with this during the Stanley Cup Final? So if this goes 7, what is that, Greg? Another, 7 days, somewhere in there, before, at earliest, you get that solution done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So just more delays on what's been one of the most odd and at times, I think, unorganized head coaching search for the Edmonton Oilers. So they might not have a coach by the draft, which isn't the end of the world. I've said that before. It would be wild though that if all of a sudden Vegas decides that they'll grant Cassie permission. I'm not sold they will, but that would be funny if they did. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Struds, have a good one.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, buddy. Thanks for the call.
There you go. That's Jason Strudwick. Joins us every Wednesday here from the Got Your Back podcast. Quick break, man. We got a lot of texts to get to, and it's coming, baby. Many of you suddenly, I think, will get more invested than you have been. We'll tell you on what next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop, and neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Saturday, June 20th is the day to be at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Come live the legend because the HD semi-truck is rolling in, bringing you the exclusive chance to test ride the powerful new 2026 models. All you need is your riding gear and Class 6 license to ride. Be there to enter to win a 2026 Liberty Edition Heritage Classic, door prizes, and more. Don't miss the ultimate ride event of the summer. Locally owned and operated since 1980. Visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips, we fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$350, Jason Gregor. Connor Howley, how you doing? We'll get to Tater, Landon Ferraro, Mark Spector coming up later today. But also, hey, it's time, baby. We are going to talk a little footy as we get to our World Cup report brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, vans, trucks, SUVs. They've got it all at goauto.ca. Over 15,000 vehicles for you to choose from. 73 locations or 33 different brands. They will have your vehicle at goauto.ca. And starting tomorrow, the World Cup. Now, it begins with Mexico. And, of course, they will play on home soil. And then you have Canada starting on Friday. You also have, Mexico and South Africa. And then you have South Korea and Czechia. And most games, Friday and Saturday, they're 1 o'clock and then 8 p.m. our time because it's Mexico is a little different time zone. On Friday, the game will begin at 1 o'clock Edmonton time. And then USA and Paraguay are playing later that night. So all three hosts will be in 3 of the first 4 games. Qatar and Switzerland, of course, who are also in Group B. They'll get going on Saturday. You have Brazil and Morocco also on Saturday. Haiti and Scotland, Australia and Turkey. And then it's basically just, 4 games every other day for a while. Canada's second game will be on Thursday the 18th when they take on Qatar. And we'll find out now if maybe Alphonso Davies will be in. We'll see. But, man, now Kone's injured? What the hell's going on? Matt Chinetti from TSN joins us. Matt, what can you tell us on Kone? How concerning is this?
Well, Jason, I think it just adds to the drama that has been orbiting around the Canadian men's national team for the last 10 days to 2 weeks, and even before that with all the injuries. So Kone, as my colleague Christian Jack saw this morning, so typically, much like it would be for a morning skate, the media arrives at a specific time. It was 10:15 Eastern time in Toronto. We had all arrived. The players had just arrived on the bus, and KJ was fashionably late, and with the perfect timing to watch Ismail Kone as the team was entering the facility. Kone was getting into a car and leaving, and as soon as that happens, you start working your sources, and myself and KJ were calling people, and KJ got the call back first saying that Ismail Kone has the fever. Now, this certainly puts his availability for Friday, if not in doubt, then at least up in the air. We'll find out, obviously, tomorrow. It's the match day -1 presser, this whole big spectacle that FIFA runs with both countries before the first matches. We will find out then if he's going to be in the squad. But right now, when you consider Alphonso Davies and his situation with his hamstring, Ralph Prizone, whether or not his health is the last domino to see if Moise Bombito is still going to be in the squad come tomorrow at 3 p.m., which is the deadline for Canada to replace any of the players on its 26-man roster. And then you look at Moise Bombito's situation. Very interestingly, at the end of practice, and here we are now in Canadian soccer media, we are looking at everything in practice in minute detail. While the players were meeting with the media, Kone was doing fitness drills with the team's high-performance medical and training staff. And from what I saw, they were putting him through his paces. Jesse Marsh said, despite the reporting that I've done and the confirmed reporting that has come out since, that at this point, he is giving Moise Bombito until the last possible second. And what I saw today was Jesse Marsh and his coaching staff giving Moise Bombito until the last possible second.
Okay. Yeah, because they have to announce tomorrow. Or sorry, Friday, correct? Or is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. So it has to be 11. So it would be 1 p.m. Edmonton time, which is essentially 24 hours before the first game on Friday.
So if you had to put on your prediction, let's say the guys can't play, who's coming on the roster?
Right now would be Ralph Prizzo, the 21-year-old who plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury, and if you want to talk about the issues that this team has been dealing with, hamstring injuries are at the top of the medical billing. Ali Ahmed's been dealing with one. Jacob Schaffenberg's been dealing with one. We know the one that Alphonso Davies is dealing with. Ralph Prizzo's been dealing with this. And when we talk about hamstring issues and the health of players, a lot of this is the travel they're doing, the amount of games that they're playing, the load that is on their bodies. And when you look at, this is a different World Cup from the one in Qatar. Remember, the one in Qatar was in November. So many of these guys' seasons hadn't really even passed the 30% mark yet. Now we're in a situation where these guys are coming off of incredibly grueling seasons, and the depth on Canada's team certainly is better than it was 3.5 years ago. But the fact of the matter is this: many of those guys now playing in some of the best leagues in the world, and in Prizzo's case, playing for one of the best teams in Major League Soccer, the demands are high. And you do have to empathize with Jesse Marsh. He has done so much to build after John Herdman did a lot of work. He has done so much to reinforce everything in Canada Soccer's cabinet with this men's team. But now he's forced into a situation where he's not going to have Alphonso Davies for that first game. Alphonso Davies is at least at this point nowhere close to training with the first team. Moise Bombito, he has been trying for the last 3-4 days, but he is running with an obvious limp, an obvious hitch in his step, and has his leg wrapped every single day. And now we're looking at Ralph Prizzo. When Canada has Kamal Miller, obviously not here, but he was someone who played in Qatar. You're looking at the other options. Alfie Jones has also been dealing with an ankle injury. Canada has depth, but it's top-end players that Jesse Marsh would want for Canada's opening game against Bosnia and Herzegovina in front of the nation inside Toronto Stadium. He's not going to have them.
Yeah. Obviously, you look at the matchup here in game one, and their opponent's not blessed with any high-end offensive guys. Like, of course, you have to respect everybody that's in the World Cup. No question about that. But, you look at Canada and like this is a game you got to find a way to create because we know they're going to sit back. How would you expect Canada to attack and create offense in game one?
This is an emotional situation, and this is what I mean. The Bosnians right now are training just west of the city. They have many, many Bosnian Canadians going, far more than any. There have been no Canadian fans at training. As much as we're looking at the fact that Canada has so many capabilities and the physical and technical abilities to beat Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they do. Bosnia and Herzegovina is ranked beneath Canada. But Bosnia thinks about mentality. They think about want it. How much do you want it? And in their mind, they think it's laughable that people think that Canada is going to beat them because they will say, look, we dealt with Italy. But that was a different game that Bosnia played. Bosnia went ahead and gave up an egregious error in the first few minutes. Italy went up 1-0, and then they sat back. This was in the UEFA playoff. And then Bosnia sat in. They kept attacking Italy. Italy was defensive, didn't take the one chance that they had to make it 2-0, and they lost on penalties after obviously there was a red card as well too. Now they face a game against Canada in which Bosnia, this is less of a physical and tactical game and more of an emotional game because Bosnia is going to come in thinking we can absolutely break this team down. We have no pressure on us. And the way that Bosnia is treating even the English-speaking press in Canada, they don't care. They're barely letting their players speak to Claire Hanna, our reporter with Bosnia and Herzegovina. They're completely dismissive of any Canadian presence. And when you see the videos of the Bosnian Canadians talking about Bosnia's chances, they think it's laughable, as I've said, that Canada would have any chance against them, and they take it as a slight. And this is the point. When we go into this game on Friday, it is a seminal moment in Canadian soccer history in terms of the men's program. If they get a win against Bosnia and Herzegovina, the whole country is going to wake up and say, okay, this team might actually might be able to do something.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, they're coming into that game with not everybody in this nation believing in them. And Alistair Johnston, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not, he kind of scoffed a little bit when I said it to him. There are incredibly devoted Canadian soccer fans in this country. There are also many, many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of soccer fans in this country who do not think highly of the Canadian men's national team because of various cultural reasons, the history of the World Cup, achievements, all of that, cultural identities. And Canada and Jesse Marsh may not be going into this game full strength, but if they don't have the want to, and they come away with a loss against Bosnia or not a win, and at the very least a draw, it's an incredibly disappointing outcome for the Canadian men's national team, and it will justify people's feelings about them and where the program is.
Matt Chinetti joins us. And it's funny, Matt, because obviously I know you covered CFL very closely, and I felt, hey, this is the biggest game for the Elks. I know it was only the opening game, but I look for Canada and just how you outline it. Like, if you lose your opening game in the World Cup, man, it is really hard to come back. That's just what history tells us. And you're at home, you're trying to gain some momentum. Like, this is a big game. What's your expectations when you look at the team and you look at Jesse Marsh? And I know there's some injuries, but yeah, they've still got some key players that are healthy. How do you think Canada, and how do they show up in game one?
If you're looking for players on this field for the Canadian men's national team who are absolutely players that you want to underline, and if they play well, it will tilt the field, one is Luc de Fougerolles. Luc de Fougerolles is 20 years old. He wasn't born here. He was born in England, but his father, Jean, was born in Montreal. And his father, Jean, has been basically planning this and advocating for his son to play for the Canadian men's national team. He actually reached out to Canada Soccer's coaches on LinkedIn to tell them that his son is Canadian and has a Canadian citizenship. And the way he plays the game, I hate to always be coming back to hockey references with this, but he is a physical, stay-at-home kind of defenseman. But he is very young, and he's going to have to deal with Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko is 40 years old. He's won a German Bundesliga title. He has won an English Premier League, and he has won Serie A. He is someone who, after 90 minutes, if the 20-year-old and Luc de Fougerolles, who's incredibly physical and has all of the moxie and confidence in the world, isn't minding his P's and Q's, Edin Dzeko is going to make it a rough afternoon for him. Another player to watch out for is Tajon Buchanan. Jesse Marsh calls him a weapon. Very much a 1v1 kind of basketball player. I will take you on. He will take on all comers. And if he is flying, and for those who know the name, when Tajon Buchanan has a game, it changes everything for Canada. Obviously, we are now very concerned about Ismail Kone's status and whether or not this is going to be a kind of Jordan flu game for him. But he is somebody who can absolutely change a game. If he feels physically, emotionally, and mentally locked in, they're on that field on Friday. There will not be a more talented player at his best than Ismail Kone. And up top, a tremendous amount of expectation on Kyle Larin, tremendous amount of expectation on Jonathan David, because they have not been scoring. And as much as Jesse Marsh has gone to the soccer press, not the general press, who there were tons of media there at Canada Soccer's training today, but he went to the soccer press, who, like myself, who've covered this team for a long time, and implied that we have stupid questions because we keep on asking why this team isn't scoring. You can feel around the men's national team now that they're gripping their sticks a little tighter. And the reason why that's happening at this point is because they understand how big this game is. But if those players step up on Friday, it will mean so much for Canada.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Just the crowd, the fact that there's a World Cup in Canada. It's not something I ever thought was going to happen, to be completely honest. So I look forward to it. And man, it would sure be nice to see the red and white get a win on Friday. Matt, for fun, who scores the first Canadian goal in the tournament?
Tajon Buchanan. As I said, if you look back in Qatar, who was Canada's standout player for their brief time there? Tajon Buchanan won the penalty against Belgium. Tajon Buchanan sent the cross in that Alphonso Davies put in the back of the net for an historic goal. I think that knowing what that field means to him, and his family will be in the stands, I think Tajon Buchanan is going to come out like a firecracker.
And do you think Alphonso will be ready for game 2, or he might not even play in this tournament?
I think the questions are now becoming, and I don't say this with any inside knowledge, I think the questions are now becoming whether or not Alphonso Davies will play at any point in this tournament.
Yeah.
And when we're looking at, and that's not an implication of he's not going to, but what I think everyone should understand is this. I've been very blessed to have watched a World Cup game up close. The level and execution we're talking about Olympic level runners making incredible athletic decisions in split seconds. And the education that Canada got against Belgium, against Croatia, and against Morocco, you would hope, as Alistair Johnston said, that they learned something from that mentally they cannot switch off. Because if they switch off, it will certainly be a long afternoon for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it might be tough to see him even get in a game. So we shall see, unless they go deep. Matthew, great stuff, man. We look forward to all the coverage. Enjoy it.
Take care now.
There you go. That's Matthew Shinetti joining us from TSN. The World Cup of Soccer starts tomorrow. Canada, of course, plays on Friday. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Not only your place to stop for tires, hey, you got maintenance, you got a vehicle problem, they'll not only tell you what it is, they'll show you with their digital vehicle report. FountainTire.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Mike Babcock saga continuing as the NHL is moving ahead with its investigation of the former NHL head coach following a request from the Players Association. The investigation is in regard to allegations Babcock invaded players' privacies during his brief time with the Jackets in 2023. No timeline for the investigation to be completed, as members of the Blue Jackets will need to be interviewed. In the association, Spurs and Knicks from MSG. Game 4 with New York leading 2-1. That one gets going at 6:30. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action, hosting the Phillies once again. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor show. 2 games underway right now. In the 8th, the Giants trail the Nationals 9-1. And in the 7th, Reds have a 3-2 lead over the Padres. Earlier today, Rays over the Red Sox 7-5, and the Yankees doubled up the Guardians 8-4. Later tonight, Athletics, Brewers, Cubs, Rockies, the Rangers in Kansas City, and the Twins taking on the Tigers. In town today, the Riverhawks fell to Victoria 8-5. They'll wrap up their series tomorrow, 7 o'clock, down at Remax Field. And from the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contracts, keeping him in KC through the 2033 season. The contract will now average $64 million per year, which is a new record for AAV. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by former NHLer Landon Ferraro. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal is only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next Nice Day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include Drought Fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups.
This is CanTorque.
greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.411, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday afternoon. Lots going on in the world of sports. We are less than 24 hours away from the kickoff to the World Cup. Canada will play Friday at 1 p.m. And then they play the following Thursday. I don't know if we'll hear or see Alphonso Davies maybe in the tournament, which is very disappointing for him. Well, one of Canada's best players. It's in his home country, and you know what? Not getting to play, I think, would be brutal for him. He'll be doing everything he can, but I don't know if that. A lot of people thought, oh, he'll just play in the second game. Yeah. I had a meeting with some people last week, and they're like, I won't be surprised if he doesn't play. And I was like, what? So that is something to watch for, and which obviously would be very disappointing. Now the Kone injury just pops up today, like brutal if you are a soccer fan, footy fan for Team Canada. Still hope they win. It would be awesome. Man, the atmosphere is going to be great on Friday. No question about it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got a lot of texts again. The other thing, and I'll say this, has this been the quietest slump as far as any sort of criticism that you can remember for a player? Vladimir Guerrero has 1 home run and 6 doubles in his last 152 at-bats in 44 games. And that doesn't include the ones where he walked. I'm just talking at-bats, right? Because when you walk, you don't get an AB, which is weird. Whatever. Virtually no power, no pop for months. Yet it's almost like imagine if McDavid went that long. Imagine if star quarterback went that long, wasn't passing, wasn't completing touchdowns. Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's kind of surprising to me. People in MLB, it's kind of like, oh, well, whatever. He's they'd like him to hit. And not like, I get that his, manager's like saying, hey, you know what? He just needs a game and it'll change. And I don't know, like, he's clearly frustrated. The other day when he hit a double, like you saw him, he was standing there just like it was almost like, greatest hit of his life. And I get it. But this is not just a slump, man. This has been, and that's 44 games. It's not like he was pounding the ball before that either. He did have 2 home runs, I think, in the first 15 games, which seems like great since only having 1 in the last 44. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, Con, man. But is this not like the quietest criticism slump ever?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at it like in the NHL, if Prime Ovi, and I'm not comparing Vlad to Prime Ovi, but let's just use him for example. If he wasn't scoring, last year, Rally, the most home runs was 60, McKinnon had 53. So they're kind of in the same ballpark. Like if Ovi in his prime had 3 goals leading into the season or 5 games, whatever it might be, like you'd be surprised. And I've been looking around just to see if there wasn't many articles. It doesn't seem to be the major outlets. Like you're having some smaller outlets, calling them out, questioning what's going on here. But it doesn't seem like it's getting brought up too much. The percentage is okay, but that's not what Vlad is. I mean, you pay him that much money. You need him to collect RBIs, and the best way to do that is with home runs. So I'm with you. It's just like we know he's streaky. That's what people keep relying on, but it's got to get going at some point here.
Well, yeah, it needs to,
or maybe it won't.
Yeah, exactly. Like will it? That will be that's going to be the challenge for it. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. The CFL came down with some fines today. No surprise here. CJ Rivas was fined for his high hit on Cody Fajardo. That one was pretty obvious. But also Joel DeBlanco from the Elks was fined for his high hit on quarterback Jake Meyer. Both received roughing the passer flags at the time, and now both of them have been fined for that. Also, linebacker Jaden Woodby from Winnipeg got the maximum fine for his high hit on QB Vernon Adams Jr. So, and his was basically he got graded 2 unnecessary roughness penalty on that one, and so he gets the maximum fine where the other guys got the a lower fine from the CFL. In case you were following that, so there you go. That's something I don't mind it. You want to try to limit it. Or lower and eliminate the high hits for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I didn't know those numbers on Nurse. That's rather eye-opening. I'll be the first one to admit I'm fairly critical of him, but maybe it's because he's in the game so much. Comes from Don. Well, hey, Don, there's probably a little bit of truth to that, right? He's on the ice a lot. So, yes, he'll make some mistakes. Now, like I've said before, I have no issue if they trade Don Nurse. I think there's some parts of his game that just you haven't seen much improvement on. I'm not sold that it's like people thought, hey, Paul Coffey came in and rectified some things, and at times he did. But he did that, but he also played him a lot. Right? Paul Coffey's a big believer that you got to play your way out of mistakes and slumps sometimes. It's a way, now eventually you might have to sit a guy down for a period if it's something that continues, for sure. But Coffey's strategy usually at time was, hey, man, you make a mistake. He's putting the guy right back out there. Get back out there. I don't want to see you get bucked off the horse and then be scared to get back on the horse. Right? That's all. So let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Here is a 2-minute warning with Cam Tate.
4 scripts. 4. And here I am, again, writing the 5th. Consecutive. I should be done with this. I want to be done with this. I keep telling myself, Cam, roll away from it. Let it go. I can't. Not from the Mike Babcock story joining the Oilers. And I didn't know why. Not really. Not until today. Connor and the Duke and I, we do this walk every day. Same route, same arguments. And every day this story comes up. And every day I think, why are we still here? Why does this one stick to my ribs? Then Low Tide, the former mayor of Maidstone, Saskatchewan, a little after 1:30 today. He said something and it landed somewhere I wasn't ready for. He said this was never about hockey. And I felt that right in the chest. Because he's right. It was never about wins, never about losses, never about a system or a record or a bench. It's about a kid. A grown man, sure, but a kid once, standing in a room, being made small, being humiliated by someone with all the power and none of the decency to use it kindly. That's it. That's the whole thing. I know that feeling. A lot of you know that feeling. The one where you can't say no, where the person holding the clipboard is also holding your future. And you just stand there and you take it, and nobody steps in, because nobody powerful ever pays. That's why I can't let it go. Because if we let it go, we're saying it's fine. We're saying fear is fine. Humiliation is fine. We're saying the powerful get a pass. And I won't. I can't. 833-401-1440. The line is lit up. You're feeling it too, I can tell. So one more script. Maybe 2 more. However many it takes. For the kid in the room. The one who couldn't say no. Low Tide was right. And so I'll keep writing about the Babcock story. Not to give him the publicity, but to hopefully nudge the little stone up the big mountain. 2-minute warning. This is Cam Tate.
Good stuff, Tater. Good stuff. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We will, we got a lot of text flying in. We'll get some of those. We also have Landon Ferraro joining us next. And lots of people texting your excitement level. That was my question we want to ask today. Where would you rank like your interest, your excitement level when it comes to the World Cup? 1 to 10 scale. 10 being like, man, I'm all in. I can't wait. 1 being, not that interested. Or are you like, well, I'm at a 3, but it might go up depending on how they do. And there's no wrong answer. I'm just curious, kind of what's the feeling? What's the temperature for sports fans when it comes to the World Cup of Soccer in our own country. Obviously not hosting all the games, but hosting some. 833-401-1440. Where do you rank 1 out of 10? We'll return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
There's one game that kicks off summer, June 20th at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The Elks home opener, Elks Alouettes, presented by James H. Brown, Alberta Injury Lawyers. Lock in your tickets now at goelks.com/tickets. Our city, our year.
Just in time for the big game. Score big savings at the Brick. Save up to $1,300 off sofas, up to 25% off bedroom and dining packages, plus save up to 40% on select mattresses. And buy more, save more. Up to $1,000 off select major appliances. Watch Team Canada score big on a big screen TV, up to 50% off open box electronics. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The perfect place to host your golf tournament or fundraiser, company event, celebration of life, wedding, birthday party, or private party. Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. More than a golf course, a fun, welcoming place with beautiful views, relaxing patios, and a team that truly appreciates each and every guest. Featuring Out of Bounds, Cattail's 5-star kitchen. Some say it's the best clubhouse dining they've ever had. Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. Book your tourney or event today at cattailcrossing.ca.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now. Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$426. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Howling, Declan Cougar, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca on a lovely hump day. Hope you're having a great day. Wherever you're doing, whatever you're going. Maybe you're going watch a little basketball tonight, some baseball. Maybe you got soccer for the kids right now. Hopefully no games postponed tonight. Get on the pitch, maybe ball diamond, doing your bike ride. Some of you are pickleballing, taking it very serious. I like it. It's good. Whatever you're doing on Wednesday, have fun. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your ride today at silentrides.ca. As we welcome to the show, former NHLer, Landon Ferraro, pre- and post-game host here in Sports 1440. Landon, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. And I know it was very brief, so it's hard to know in 7 games, how a coach is or not. But you did have Mike Babcock as a coach very briefly, and I'm sure you might have a little bit better insight into it. What were your first thoughts when his name came up as a potential coach for the Edmonton Oilers?
I was not expecting to hear that for sure. I thought that we were past Mike Babcock. I figured that after him not making it to training camp in Columbus after, a couple of years away and saying that he's done the learning and, grown and all of it, and he doesn't make it to training camp, I figured that was kind of the end of it. So for his name to pop back up, it caught me by surprise for sure.
Yeah. Now, surprised, disappointed, like, what do you think of this?
Well, yeah, it's disappointed. It's from an Oilers standpoint, disappointed. From a league standpoint, really disappointed. I feel like we have taken some really good steps over the past however many years you want to say it of kind of growing the game and pushing it in the right direction and all of that. And then all of a sudden to have a name pop up for, again, that is so tied to so many stories of just not treating guys the right way. You can talk about he won a cup and he won 2 gold medals. Those are some pretty good teams that he's standing behind as well. Not to take anything away. Like, can he come in and help X's and O's? I'm sure he could. Like, he's a good coach, but that's not what any of the discussion is about. Again, I don't see how this is going to take the Edmonton Oilers to the next step, to the next level. And, I've seen all what you've been saying the last couple of days, and you're 100% right. Like, it's not the McDavids, the Dreisaitl's that are going to feel when things pop up, right? Like, he doesn't go after the star guys. It's the rest of us that take some of that heat.
Yeah. Well, 100%. That if you look at the track record, that's been who's on the receiving end.
Yeah, even if it's not over the top, it's just so many little things, like all the old mind games that we all hear stories about, and like they're cool stories, but it's cool kind of because they're in the past. Like I was drafted by the Wings. I go to camp, I trying to, get to exhibition games and all of that. I don't play any my first year. I get there the second time around and I get told I'm going to play the first exhibition game in Chicago. Then I get told the day before. Obviously I'm excited. Call my mom. She's going to be able to fly in and see it. So I get to the rink in the morning, pretty early. I want to make sure all my sticks are cut. Everything's ready because I don't want to have to worry about anything. In the old Joe, you had from the coach's office to get to where the stick room is. That's a bunch of turns. Yeah. And like, you got to be going there. So I'm in there by myself and all of a sudden I hear, "What do you do on the ice?" And I kind of startle. I turn around and it's Babs. And I'm like, I said like 3 things, I fast, I PK, whatever it was. And he goes like, "Yeah, right. I agree with that." I'm like, "Nice. I nailed it." And he goes, "I think you're going to play. It's going to take 2 organizations, but I think you're going to play." And he turns around and walked out. I hadn't even played a exhibition game for the team yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just stuff like that where it's just like, why? Why is it needed? That's not going to make a guy, "Oh, I'm going to now show him." You're sitting there, and my first call was to my agent saying, "What am I doing here?" Like, he already told me it's going to take 2 organizations to make it.
Yeah. Like, see, and those are just the little things that I think some people try to be, "Oh yeah, it's not a big deal." And I don't know if that personality trait is going to change. He's never shown any willingness to want to change it from day one to his time in Toronto, and obviously even his time in Columbus, which only happened in the offseason. It hasn't changed. So why would it change now? I know everybody said, "Oh, but it's the old Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. They might tweak it a little bit, but inherently that's who he is." Because he probably can't even help himself, Lan. He just feels like, you know what? If I make guys on the edge, or if I insult them, because this is how I'm going to motivate them. I'm going to tell them, you know what? Yeah, you'll play on your second organization. I'm going to show you it's not going to take me 2 organizations. Like, is that what he's thinking? Like, it's so beyond stupid. It makes no sense.
But the thing to me is, like, you showed your true colors, all of that, but he did get a step away and then another chance.
Yes.
Right? Like, that chance was already there to me. And it's another thing if there was way more success and also way more in recent times, whether it was the NHL or not, but take away all of the extra. He's been out of the game for quite a while now. It's changed a bit, and the guys are definitely a lot different, right? Like, to me, it's just not the right choice of a coach, regardless of any of the extras.
Yeah. Landon Ferraro joined us here on Sports 1440. Do you guys really believe there's nothing being said from leadership to Babcock about no chances if he goes after the young kids? Come on now, from Brandon. See, Brandon, I think there's your error. You're making some assumption as though it's fact, like, and they're going to say, "Hey, we want to make sure that you're nice to the teammates." Of course, yeah, you know what? For sure, guys, I'll do that. Just because you say it doesn't mean you're not going to do it, right? Like, I'm sorry, you can't be that naive to think just because you tell someone, "Hey, don't do that." Okay, I won't do it, when somebody's done it repeatedly in other places, because he'll just think he can get away with it.
For sure. And the other thing you have to think about a bit too is, like, as much as they're a couple of the best players in the world and all of it, like, they're in their bubble still, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're these ultra competitors that want to win. And I'm not saying that they're going to do anything at all costs and let, if it was Babcock, just run wild in there. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, like, they're in their bubble. They're looking dead ahead at what their goal is. They're not going to see everything that happens because it doesn't happen in front of everyone every time, right? Like, it's, again, I just go back as you talk through it, and I've been on a couple different things in the past couple days, and you talk through all of it, and to me, it just gets back to the simple point of, I don't think it's the right coach for the Edmonton Oilers, period.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And so they seem to want him. The NHL might save the Oilers from themselves with this this investigation, if it goes through or not. I'm actually a little, now I'm more intrigued than anything else to be like so, because allegedly it wasn't even the going through the phones that got him canned in Columbus. It was these other allegations that they didn't deeply research. You just said, "Okay, well, I'll move away. We don't want him out." So the thing is, though, but if it was enough 3 years ago, what's changed now that it wouldn't be enough?
Your guess is as good as mine, right? Like, if you walk away from the contract and you mutually move away from it, basically because you don't want to have to deal with whatever blowback was going to be coming at that point. I'm right with you. It's not going to be better now. If anything, it is way more scrutinized. And I mean, look at it. Like, just in the past couple of days, what has popped up in your market, right? Like, it's like it brings emotion out of people on either side, but you're definitely going to get a reaction from it.
Oh, you'll get a reaction, but are you going to get the results you want? Because that ultimately is the end of the day what it is. And here's my thing is, I think right now there's like this belief that, man, if we just get the one right coach, he's going to solve everything for the team. And I'm like, no. I really believe the team is panicking because there's so much internal pressure from McDavid and Dry. They want to win badly, and the management wants to win badly. The ownership wants to win badly. Then now it's just like, okay, if we get this coach, he's going to solve all the problems. Well, who's your second pair right defenseman? I don't care who the coach is if you don't have a good second pair right defenseman. Do you have a right shot center who can win a face-off? You know, who's going to be a scoring winger? Like, are our players that are here going to commit to playing defense? Like, the coach just can't magically come up with some. It's not like Chris Nomblak didn't have a defensive system that worked. Yeah. It worked in 2024. And then they decided, we're not going to do it as much. Right? Like, I guess because the coach didn't berate them or yell at them. Like, so it's the coach's fault. And the coach, by the way, hey, didn't have a great year. I'd be the first to admit that. I've said it. I thought Knoblauch could have done some things better. No disagreeing on that. But it just seems right now that there's like this belief in the organization that if we get this magical unicorn coach, everything is solved.
I said this yesterday on air here in Vancouver when this topic was brought up. And I mean, yeah, we can keep talking about the coach. We can keep talking about whatever you want. But again, at the end of the day, the Oilers right now are not a cup contending team. Like, they're with how they're at right now, with where their goaltending is. Obviously, like, they have the whole summer in front of them, but as of right now, like, they're not there.
See, interesting. See, I don't think the Oilers are that far, because if they don't have four centers hurt, I think they beat Anaheim, and then who knows what happens again in Vegas. And then when we go to goaltending, Landon, we got the NHL Stanley Cup Final, and
I know
every team's giving up 4 goals, right? Like, this is. It's just goaltending, and both teams gave up nothing for 3 rounds, and now neither team can limit the other team to 4 goals for the most part. It seems right. Yeah. Like you need 4 goals to win a game, maybe 5 actually to win most games. So, like, I don't really think Edmonton is that far off, to be honest.
But my point more so is the fact that, like, it's so much focus on the coach, and we got to get that right guy in there, like you're saying, but right now the roster isn't there. Like, that's the only thing that matters for the Edmonton Oilers right now. I don't think that the coach is kind of what you just said. Like, it's not the cure-all for what it is. Like, they need to get a couple guys, more guys in there, but then they need that group to commit together and be healthy is a major one.
Yeah.
And once you're there, then you can get rolling. But I mean, it's like, I don't think the coach matters as much in this situation for the Oilers as it does in some other places. They just need to be able to actually play and not have a bunch of injuries to their more important players. Like, you can't win like that. Even Colorado, right? They're an absolute wagon. They get a couple injuries and all of a sudden, like, they can't compete.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's why I had a lot of people said, "Oh, Greg, you're saying coaches don't matter." No, not that the coach doesn't matter. But I don't think the coach matters as much sometimes as people think. There's no coach that goes into the room and says, "Okay, guys, let's just play fire wagon hockey." They all have a style, and there's only so many systems to play. At the end of the day, the split-second decisions on the ice will be made by the players. The coach can't hold your hand at that point. You played, you know it. You'll be like, "Hey, coach told us what to do here. I know that I'm supposed to be forechecking on this." And then sometimes puck bounces one way, you make a split-second decision, ends up being in the wrong position, they score, and you're like, damn, the coach didn't do anything.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I coached my first year out of playing junior A hockey, and you go through the week of practice, and then you go out for the game, and you start watching your forecheck, and you're like, I mean, I ran the drill for the first Monday to Wednesday of our forecheck. That's not what we did. Right? Like, it's so different from the other side. You're sitting there like, was I not clear? Like, I think I was, but you're trying to work through it. But you're right. Like, yes, a coach matters, and like neither of us are saying that they don't, but really, like, it's up to your group on their buy-in and how cohesive they are and how things work through the rest of the year on health and everything else. The best coaches that have to do the most coaching are the ones that are on the teams that aren't as good, because they have to do way more coaching.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, like I keep, the leadership group wants a coach. And I'm kind of like, what did they think? Did they want a coach who's going to yell and scream at them? And maybe, like, I don't know if that's it, or because I look at a lot of the errors came from some of their best players. Now they have the puck way more, but when you look at puck management in the offensive zone, that's definitely, no coach is going to come in here and say, hey, Connor and Leon, you're going to chip and chase. Like, no sane coach is doing that. It's impossible. You're going to take away the best skill set from your best players. It's not happening. But you might reinforce the fact that, hey, you're not going to, make a dangerous play. But at some point, like, I don't think Sidney Crosby need to be coached that all the time. Like, at some point, the onus is on you to do it.
Yeah, like, I would say, especially as you get later in a year, because your coaching should be done. Like, coaching and teaching should be done by that point. You get into that second half. Like, it's more just the little adjustment and the little reminders. Like, even for a guy like Crosby, I imagine that every once in a while there's a tendency that creeps into his game that he doesn't like, right? And he knows it, but I would imagine that, the assistant coach might come by like, hey, it's slipping a little there, or whatever their messaging might be. But that's it, right? Because he knows off that one keyword, oh, it's this, and I've got to pay attention to that again. Like, that's all it needs to be when you get into that point, because if you're on a good team and you've put those, building blocks down and things are rolling in the right direction, like, it just becomes a machine, and it works by itself. And it just, every once in a while, the coach has to go in there and tighten some strings up. But past that, like, that's your job as a coach, is to make it kind of like Torts has been talking about with Vegas a little bit. Like, I just kind of push them in the right direction.
Landon Ferraro joins us. The Vegas Carolina series, man, it's wild. It's awesome. It's entertaining. No leads are safe. And what do you think Vegas can do to try to limit Jordan Staal in front of the net? Because that's where he's killing them. And I'm not really sure there's much you can do. He's so big. And obviously got a few bounces. Make no mistake, the one shot hits the Vegas guy, and then he rebounds right there. Like, I'm not sure what you can do, but he's been murdering them around the crease.
Yeah, he has. My poor wife got stuck listening to me for 5 minutes the other night watching the game, just saying, I'm like, he's so big. She said, well, how big is he? And, you go through it. I'm like, it's not staggering numbers, but there's just guys that carry it way differently. I remember the first time I played against him, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, I felt like a child. He's so long, so big. You can't get around him. He's having a heck of a series here, and I don't know what more they can do, right? Like, you front your shots, things bounce the wrong way. You could try and get body position on him, but you'd have to get into him so early, and you're taking yourself out of it. Like, he's happy taking the net front D and tying him up, and all right, I'll just use you as part of my screen as well. Like, they have to stay a bit loose and keep popping in there. I think it's more about killing the plays, like the one where, the crazy backhand the other night, like, killing the play in the corner and not letting that bounce out once it's already on your stick, right? Like, it's about cleaning up the other areas around off of the rebounds and things like that you can take away some of that net front play, because there are some guys that there is no game plan to it. Like, you just need to make sure you're in the best position you can be, getting under his stick as much as you can, but also have to accept that he's going to win body position on you. You have to outsmart him and use your quickness to try and take him out in front of the net.
One last one for you. You look at let's say that the NHL says no to Babcock. Like, where do the Oilers go? Like, this seems like it's been like the most public coaching search ever. And it just seems like it's been a dysfunctional search right from the get-go, from how it was handled. We got leaked out, and then I got to fire their coach. And right from there, man, it's been like 6 weeks of this. It's wild to me.
It's wild. And to me, it's the fact that the first part got leaked, then they had to fire Knobloch, then you start getting into the Cassidy stuff becomes public, then the Babcock stuff leaks that they're talking, like, it's just been one thing after another, and it does make me a little nervous looking at it of them just going to just make a decision somewhere and just put someone in to just put this all to rest, right? Like, to me, I don't understand why. I mean, it leaks. I don't imagine they wanted Babcock's name getting out there, but like, why you wouldn't just at this point wait until the playoffs are done and make sure that Cassidy is or is not. Like, you've waited this long. Why are you going to jump the gun at this point? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out because, I mean, again, we're waiting for an investigation now as they look into that. But all of it, like, to me, I hope that halfway through this already, they're sitting there thinking, like, what are we doing? We cannot add this drama to the Edmonton Oilers right now. There is enough storylines for the Oilers. They don't need to add this.
Yeah, fair. Landon, have yourself a great weekend, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Yeah, you as well.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro. Joins us every week here on Sports 1440. We'll come back. It's 5 questions and spec on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember tonight, Lotto 649, the OG $10 million goal ball jackpot, and the classic jackpot of $5 million at PlayAlberta.ca.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Day tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. 'Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your Legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area Adjusted and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
452. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Howling, Declan Cougar, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Billy Baker had sent me a note. We were talking about Guerrero, and he mentioned how, what about Fernando Tatis? Same thing. Tatis had like 11 extra base hits this year, but he led his team in hits with 7. He just was all singles. He just hit a walk-off home run. So who knows? Maybe eventually it's going to change for Vladdy Guerrero. But I'm telling you, this to me has been maybe the most least talked about slump by a major hitter who makes that much money that I can recall. He's got 1 home run in 44 games. He's only got 3 all year. He has 1 in his last 44, and he has 6 doubles in 152 at-bats in that time. Like, just complete pop gun offense right now. It's amazing. Now, I know he still, you would think, has the potential to boom, snap out of it, but when? June 10th? June 20th? June 30th? July 30th? Like, when? At some point. Imagine that. That's why I wouldn't be that, like, I don't think this can go on all year long. And you consider how many injuries the Jays have had and how little home run power they're getting from any of the real big hitters. Like, I wouldn't be stunned if the Jays get on a run here. But at some point, Vladdy's got to wake up. Like, I don't know, maybe him and Bo Bichette got to do some FaceTime calls with each other, because clearly both of them miss each other because neither one's doing anything this year, and whether it's with the Mets or with the Jays, and maybe that'll change it up. But something's got to give here for Guerrero. If he could actually get going and get some clutch hits for their team, more so some extra base hits, that would help for certain. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, as you can score big savings right now at The Brick, up to $1,000 off select major appliances, up to 40% off select mattresses at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Spec had reported that the Oilers leadership group grilled Mike Babcock. If you were there and you were asking a question, what was the first question you'd ask him?
Ooh, it's a good question. That'd be the first question I'd ask. Can you explain to me why you felt the need to bully so many different players in different organizations? Simple. Because that's what he's done. That's the first question I want to know. Why? Why did you feel that was the right way? Why'd you continue to do it?
I feel like I might pull a Kelly from The Office. Number 1, how dare you? Not really a question, but good line from the show. I'd probably want to know, like, what's changed? Why now? Like, what have you learned? Because you didn't learn anything from, the instances in the past. In the last 3 seasons, what has changed and why do you want to get back into it? Go from there. Question number 2. The Riverhawks had a local mascot down at the game today as they lost to Victoria. A lot of school kids there as well. What would you say is your favorite mascot of all time?
Oh, the Philly Fanatic.
Good mascot town, really. It's gritty as well. I don't like much about this organization, but Jackson DeVille for the Jaguars, man, that guy does a lot of crazy things. So I'll give him his props here, and that's the only thing. Question number 3. Are the Spurs tying it up tonight out at MSG?
No, I think the Knickerbockers are going to win and be the first team in the NBA final this year to win on home court.
Those pesky Knicks. I can't agree with you just because I picked the Spurs to win this series, and I think that it's a crucial game for them tonight. If they don't get it done, I think they're in a lot of trouble. So I'll say they continue the Road Warrior mantra here tonight. Question number 4. World Cup gets going tomorrow. Who's your pick to meet in the final?
Oh, well, me in the final, it's almost impossible because I don't know like the bracket or anything because obviously it changes on where they go and how it's going to be. So, because these teams might meet in the semi, but I probably would have Spain, I think for sure, is one of the teams. And I'll go Brazil.
Oh, all right. I'll just proxy, and Declan had Spain and France, which my response was boring, but probably a very good pick. I'm going to say...
So he went with the 2 favorites?
Oh. Good teams. I'm also going to take Spain, but I will throw in England. It's not coming home, but it's fun to think that it could potentially... Spain and England for me. Final question for you. On this day in 2007, it was the finale of The Sopranos. So 2-part question, almost 3 parts. What do you think happened when the screen went to black? Also, what is your favorite and least favorite finale from a TV show?
I can't really think of like a least favorite. Like I love Seinfeld, so there was no way it was going to end where I would have been like super satisfied. I did quite like it. I found it was fitting for Seinfeld, to be honest. So I can't say I hated it. Like lots of times it's like, I just don't like that this series is ending. So, but there's not one where I was like, oh, that was so bad that at least that I can think of maybe in the moment, I would have, but favorite ending. Actually, I thought I liked the Game of Thrones ending. I know a lot of people didn't. I quite liked it. I thought it was fine.
I was with you. The Mad Queen went mad. It was destined to happen. For The Sopranos, I think that they were shot. I think that's how it ended for The Sopranos ending when it went to black. My favorite ending, and it's interesting because I've long said I don't think this show is as good as everyone else does, but I thought the Breaking Bad ending was terrific. So it all went down. My least favorite endings, and it probably built up through the last couple of seasons of both of these shows, but Dexter and Lost. 2 great shows that just towards the end, I grew to very much dislike, and I just had to see how it ended.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Can I say that the How You Met Your Mother ending was pretty dumb, right? Because you're waiting the whole time to find out who the mom is, and then they kill her off. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that now that I think about it, that one I just was like, why would someone think that's a good ending? That's one that was kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think Game of Thrones were so built up to it that it was hard to. People were disappointed. I think they're disappointed because you're like, this has been so good and so big. But I'm like, well, how'd you expect it to end? That's a hard one to wrap up because there were so many characters over all the years. Like I've actually, this summer, I think I'm going to go back and start Game of Thrones. Because honestly, someone could list off 15 characters that I'd be like, geez, I'm hard. Who? What? Which one? Like obviously the main characters are pretty simple. But there were so many good sub characters at different times in that show that I'd like to watch it again. Because I think I'm forgetting some at this moment. Like there's the top 10 that of course you remember, but I think there's lots of other ones. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot that. So I think I'm going to watch it again.
I mean, I've definitely gone back and watched it twice now. It's good. It is a really good show.
You've watched it twice again already.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it. One of those, like, you put it on, you know what's happened, but you kind of just pick up on the little things. And I was with you. Like I watched with a few friends that were so mad that final season. And, Daenerys comes from the bloodline of the Mad King. Like, of course she was going to be mad. And, what was the lady we all hate? Brother or sister of Jaime? Cersei?
Oh, Cersei. She was awesome.
in her role, but like
Yes.
you hated her, like what she did to Daenerys. Like you knew she was gonna take down the city and do all those sorts of things. So yeah, if you wanted like a better ending, I don't know what to tell you. That was just what was gonna happen.
Hey, Greg's, what about the Sons of Anarchy ending? Oh, that's a good one, Morgan. That was actually pretty well done. I like that one. So,
Like you said, for me, I just didn't want that show to end. So
No.
that's why I didn't like it. But it's the way it had to end.
yeah. Hey, Gregor, Sopranos went to black because us, the viewers, got whacked. True. Hey, guys, what about Ozark? Ooh, Ozark, that was such a good show. Like, I loved Ozark. Like, the characters in that show I thought all of them were good. And actually, you know what? Ozark that's a really good call. Now that you say it. Like I thought Julia Garner, when she really got into as Ruth, was awesome. Right? Like when she's yelling in that one scene at the end, like she's all just fired out. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, like she sold me right there. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good acting. I've bought in. I like you. And Bateman, and because Bateman's been in a lot of comedy roles. In that role as Marty Bird, he was awesome because he didn't start out to be ruthless, but in the end, the protagonists, they were ruthless. They were the bad guy. Even though you kind of portrayed them as the good guy, they ultimately were the bad guy. Right? Like their kids got into it. Like, oh God, it was awesome. That's such a good show.
Did you dislike Wendy or was that just me?
Well, she was, I thought she played her, Laura Linney, she's a great actress.
100%.
Played her character was very unlikable at times. But then at other times, I'm like, okay, I get why she's doing this. Because they were all, like, Marty was ruthless. He was just, like, very deceptively ruthless. Right? He came across like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm not a bad guy. I don't really want to do this. But then he would do it. And then at the end, you're just like, he passed the torch. So, yeah. And they were kind of happy about the torch being passed. So, yeah, Wendy was, there were times when, yeah, I didn't like her for sure. Like her character would be like, but to me, that's good writing and good acting when you respect the character, but you loathe the character at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Absolutely.
That's kind of
great acting, good writing. That's what you need.
Yeah, I liked it. So, hey, boys, if you liked Ozark, you like White Rabbit. I watched White Rabbit. It was, and again, like, Bateman in that role is playing like just kind of a, just a kind of a douchey brother. He's just, got some good character traits, but way too many not good character traits. And so, yeah, it was dark. It was a real dark show, but I liked White Rabbit. It was good. Good name of a bar, too. Just kind of, hey, where are we going? We're going to the White Rabbit. Hey, you go to the Black Rabbit, right? Probably weird. There's not many black rabbits. Well, French lop-eared ones. We had a black and white rabbit. I would not recommend the lop-eared rabbits. We had Herbie the Bunny, and he lasted a long, long time. Our lop-eared rabbits, they didn't. They weren't as good of a match for the Coyotes. Rest in peace, Bubble. So it's a tough one. Oh, no, that's why I would, I don't know if rabbits should ever really be pets on the farm. So, different. Looking back on that one, like I remember chuckling a little bit with my parents. They're like, you guys, like when I was an adult, I'm like, you guys thought that was a good purchase? Like getting us rabbits? Like out at the farm, like there's lots of areas for the coyotes to come up in the barnyard, buddy. It's a tough one. But hey, so you learn it. That's why I think, I got a different level of understanding with life. Like, hey, you learn that death is part of life a little bit sooner maybe than other kids. And you see it more when you're at the farm. I will say that. You definitely see it. Chickens, pigs, cows, horses. even rabbits. It happens. Let's get to the con, man. Sports 1440 update. You ever lost a pet, Cons?
Just the dog, yeah.
Yeah.
But Panda lived a good life.
But you had to put Panda down.
Yeah, like 16 years. So.
Yeah, Panda didn't get run over. Panda never got shot by the neighbor for chasing their cows.
No.
Right? Pet rabbits never got killed. Yeah, so
she escaped
a little
once,
bit different.
but
she came back.
Well, we found her.
We found her. Okay.
Nothing like the farm.
Yeah. Let's get to Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Hey, you know what? You want to get a truck and get a canopy on it? Pet's never going to leave there. They got all sorts of great deals on right now because it is the road trip ready event, their biggest sale of the summer. Stop in for great deals, NorthgateGM.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, the NHL is moving ahead with its investigation of a former head coach, Mike Babcock. Following a request from the NHL Players Association, the investigation is in regard to the allegations Babcock invaded players' privacy during his brief time with the Jackets in 2023. There is no timeline for the investigation to be completed, as members of the 2023 Blue Jackets will need to be interviewed. In the association, Knicks Spurs Game 4 from MSG, tip-off 6:30. Knicks leading that series 2-1. In the majors, you got the Jays and Phillies getting going right away here. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed. Also, Orioles, Mariners, Marlins, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Pirates, and Tigers, Twins. All those games scoreless. Later tonight, Braves taking on the White Sox. Royals host the Rangers. Cubs head to Denver for the matchup with the Rockies. Got the Athletics and Brewers, Astros, Angels, and earlier today, Rays over the Red Sox 7-5. Guardians fall to the Yankees 8-4, and the Giants edge the Nationals 11-10. In our city, with the Riverhawks falling to Victoria 8-5, they'll wrap up that series tomorrow night at 7 o'clock down at Remax Field. And from the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, keeping him in Kansas City through the 2033 season. The contract will now average $64 million, which is a new record in the NFL for highest AAV. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Just in time for the big game, score big savings at the Brick. Save up to $1,300 off sofas, up to 25% off bedroom and dining packages, plus save up to 40% on select mattresses. And buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off select major appliances. Watch Team Canada score big on a big screen TV, up to 50% off open box electronics. See store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Did you know that when you play Colonial Golf Club, just 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont, you can have a monkey be your caddy?
We interrupt this commercial to let you know Colonial Golf Club does offer great course conditions, greens that are always fast and true. We offer memberships, and we have a newly renovated clubhouse with a new menu offering great food and drink, but we do not offer a monkey as a caddy for you.
Oh, man, I really like monkeys.
For more details and to book, visit colonial.ca. Monkey not included.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Jaffa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is now your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, tough, reliable machines built for the job. JaffaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$512 Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. How are you doing on a Wednesday afternoon? It's the Gregor Show, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto, 649, $10 million, guaranteed to $1 million, or a classic jackpot of $5 million. PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, you can stop in and get in on the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for tonight. PlayAlberta.ca. Lots of text still to get to. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As it's time now to get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist. They are hiring. Looking for cars, vans, trucks, SUVs, you name it. They got it. Go. Wow, I just read the wrong liner, didn't I? It's GS Construction. They're hiring, for God's sakes. Figure it out, Gregor. Idiot. They are, got confused there. They are hiring, or pipe layers. They're not hiring for cars, but pipe fitters, pipe layers, operators, and more. GSconstruction.ca/careers. Spectre joins the Spec. How you doing?
Good. Read the right liner, for Pete's sake.
I know. Oh, geez, I've memorized most of them, and then I just got lost. I was reading something as I was trying to read. Don't. I'm too old to multitask. Clearly, can't do it anymore.
That's like texting and driving, man.
Oh no, I don't do that, buddy. No, don't do that at all. That's an accident waiting to happen. I'm wild. I see people on the Henday driving, and then I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, that's a wild one to me. But the Mike Babcock Saga Spec took another twist and fairly big turn today. And, now another investigation, which is just to me another big red flag. Oh, my God, they got to keep investigating the guy. Like, it's almost like the NHL is basically, it's like they gave him an out to say, if you guys want to continue on this interview process, you want to do it, okay, then we're going to do an investigation. If you don't, we'll just let sleeping dogs lie. What do you think happens?
Well, I think I know what happened is that when...
No, I said, what do you think happens
when he resigned
moving forward?
Oh, moving forward, I'm sorry. Well, it's going to take a long time. That's what's going to happen. This thing will drag out through the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs for sure. There's no way that the National Hockey League announces the findings in sometime during the next 3 games, the most important time of their season. They'll make sure, the NHL will, that this will be happening after Game 7. So that much, I'd bet you my house. This is a protracted, disorganized, amateur hour coaching hire at this point, my friend. It started out, when the word leaked that the Oilers were after Cassidy, they hadn't even fired Knobloch yet. That wasn't any good. And here we are some weeks later in a never-ending coaching search for a guy that we're not even sure they should be hiring. And it's not in their hands. None of it's been in their hands. This is the Jackson-Bowman hierarchy here. Doesn't look like they have a clue what they're doing. Am I wrong when I say that?
Oh, dude, that's what I've said. This is looks disorganized from the get-go, no question. And I got a text about 10 minutes ago, Spec, that told me they think it's going to be because it says, don't be surprised, it'll be much harder for Babcock to get hired. That's all the text said. Exact quote. So
much harder.
Yeah, as far as this investigation goes. So I'm curious.
Well, let's see. I mean, there's a few things. Sorry?
I said, obviously there's something in there, right? Like I saw Frank's tweets about it that, that was what led to it in 2023. It was never made public. And so essentially they're trying to say that, okay, if we do this investigation, those parts are going to go public. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, someone told me today too that one of the players that they're trying to approach in Columbus has said, I've left this behind. I'm not revisiting it. I'm not testifying, and I'm not going public with who I am and what happened and stuff because this was 3 years ago and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've moved on.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility too. I mean, think of it, Jay. Let's say you're a guy that, Frank's report was there was something beyond the phone picture photograph thing. So let's say that you're some guy that was in some way wronged by Mike Babcock and it becomes a very focal thing. You're the guy. What's going to happen to you now in the NHL? Everywhere you go, right? Oh, there's the guy that Mike Babcock did X to. There's the guy that cost Mike Babcock the job. You come to Edmonton, whose locker are we waiting at? That guy, right? I think if I'm that guy, I probably moved on too, frankly. But I guess we'll see. It's just another page of a messy page in this whole thing that, in the end, the bottom line is everybody's talking about the Edmonton Oilers for all the wrong reasons right now. And it is not a good day for this franchise.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Like I said it earlier off the shows, but when you compare the coaching search of Edmonton, it looks like a circus compared to Toronto, Vancouver, and LA. A circus. Not even remotely comparable in the three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel a little bit for Bowman in terms of Cassidy was a very legitimate guy to go after. He's a good coach. I'd take him in a heartbeat. And nobody saw the Vegas denial coming. Like that's never happened before. So to tell you that Stan should have known that was going to happen, I don't think that's fair because no one's ever denied the right to speak to a guy they fired a month ago. So I'm going to say I'll chalk that up to bad luck. But now it's just worse. This is then, of course, to go from that spot to go after this particular guy at Babcock. And now there's an investigation. And I would say to you that before you went after Babcock, you probably could have talked to someone and figured out if there was going to be this whole investigation thing. So listen, they just look like they don't know what they're doing. I'm here to tell you, like, that's what it looks like. This management team has had two absolutely disastrous July 1st. The team has deteriorated under their watch. That is in the words of Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. They are going backwards under the Jackson-Bowman regime. And here we are, on their second season now, trying to hire a coach, and it's a gong show. So tell me when these two guys start to look smarter. When do we get there, Jay?
It's a valid point, man. It's a totally valid point. Spec, moving to the Stanley Cup Final. And Vegas and Carolina tied at 2. Carolina scored 4 goals in every game.
Good series.
And Vegas is still 1-2. Like, there's lots of offense, not a lot of defense being played overall in this series. The one element, though, where Vegas is getting absolutely clobbered is on special teams. Carolina is 4 for 11. They're 36.4%. And Vegas is only 8.3%. They've scored once on 12 chances. Carolina scored 4 times on 11 chances. Really, that's what's killing them. You look at 5-on-5, they'd say, okay, you know what, it's even, but they're getting crushed on specialty. And right, like their power play looks, and I give Carolina credit because, you know, they're doing something to disrupt it. But Vegas's power play looks awful right now.
Well, listen, there's a lot of ways to win a series. You know, sometimes you win it with your goaltender. And, well, that's not happening on either side. I'm not saying that, like, Hart's played okay, but yes, he's letting in 4 a night, so that's not great. You know, sometimes your superstars walk away with the series. They're just better than my stars are better than your stars, and we win. And sometimes it's like Anaheim, Edmonton, round 1. If my penalty kill allows your power play to go 50%, that's the series, right? That was the series in Edmonton, Anaheim. And right now, I'm not saying it's a series. If not for that dominance on special teams, this would probably, let's say, be at least a 3-1 series for Vegas. That is how Carolina's hanging in on this thing. You know, both teams are allowing lots of goals. Like no one's holding the other team to 3 or less on any night here. Almost, right? Almost. And that's awesome. Like I'm all for it. But one way to win in hockey is allow 2 goals and score, you know, and then just outscore the other team. But if you're not doing that, you got to find another way. And right now, the special teams are Carolina's lifeline. And let's see if someone comes up with a better way to win in the next 3 games, man. But it's fun to watch. I'm enjoying this series. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Oh, buddy, it's been unbelievable. And, you know, how about Jordan Staal? He's having the greatest playoffs of his life. All right, he's got 7 goals. That's the most playoff goals he's ever had. He has 11 points. That's the most points he's ever had. The guy is he's 37 years of age, turns 38 in September, and he's just killing Vegas in front of the net right now. He's got 5 goals in 4 games, a goal in every game. It's been, you know, like that's what's great about the playoffs, man. It's so unpredictable. If someone would have said at the start of the series, Jordan Staal is going to be leading everybody in goals, people would have said, get the hell out of here, right? No one's going to believe that, but here we are, and it's Jordan Staal who right now they don't have an answer for.
Yeah, who'd have thought? You know, especially Vegas, because Vegas has a fairly rugged set of defensemen that should be able to handle their slot. Like, you know, Braden McNabb, I'll take him down low every day. You know, even big Jeremy Lauzon, like, you know, he's limited, but he's a big, strong, hard player, man. And none of them can handle Jordan Staal. None of them can handle him. It's a great story from an old veteran guy who's hung around a long time. I remember the first cup I covered the cup in 08 when they beat Detroit. Beat 09, excuse me. 09, they beat Detroit. And, you know, when you're him back then, what is that, Jay? 17 years ago, you think, I want a cup. There's probably going to be lots of cups. Well, guess what, pal? There hadn't been lots of cups for Jordan Staal. And here he is at this age, playing this role, getting this much ice time, and absolutely delivering 100%. I think it's great. It's a hell of a story. And you know what? I'm a fan in this. I'm not covering this series. You're not covering this series. I think we're free to be fans. And I think Carolina's ready to win. And I thought I picked them at the start because I thought it was their time. And a guy like Jordan Staal is a great example of that. He's slugged it out for a long time. And I know other guys deserve cups too, but I can't think of a more deserving guy to hoist that sucker than Jordan Staal. Can you?
Yeah, well, he'd like to see it, his second one for sure, and especially when it's been that, probably might feel like his first again, although not really, because he's already got one. But you go that long in between, you probably think you're going to get one. And he also, like, this guy gets into the NHL. His first 6 seasons in the NHL, he made the playoffs every time with Pittsburgh. Then he elects to go to Carolina, and his first 6 years in Carolina doesn't make the playoffs. So it was that was quite the the change of events. But then since then, obviously they made the playoffs every year. They win a round every year. Sometimes they win 2 rounds. This year they've obviously won 3 rounds, and we'll see. They're halfway to winning a 4th. So that's a storyline. If Vegas can't slow down the power play of Carolina, they might just lose the series unless they can outscore them 6-5. And that's the only score maybe we haven't seen yet in the series that we're due for. Because that's what I love, man. It's 2-0. You're like, oh, this game isn't over. Where a lot of times we would. But
No.
it's pretty fun to look at it for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Spec,
Oh,
have
for
yourself
sure.
a
I
good-
mean, we
yeah.
have covered series.
Yeah. You betcha, buddy. Have yourself a good
Sorry,
one.
I've covered series where a 2-0 lead. Sounds good, brother. I'll talk to you next time.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. We'll have to figure out. Spec was on a delay there or something. Kept delaying it a little bit. So we'll have to get that cleared up for tomorrow. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. And yeah, there's more news. This is a story that's not going away. And there's some more news on what looked like yesterday. A lot of people thought was a foregone conclusion. Now might not be that. We'll discuss it on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Tee up at the 2026 Golfathon presented by Popeye Supplements June 19th at Rundle Park, supporting the University Hospital Foundation. Play 1, 2, 3, even 4 rounds of golf. Go tracksocialclub.com.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Ford. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150. The weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for always listening. Thanks for watching. Very much appreciate it. We got a lot of texts flying in today. We'll get to lots of those. I guess the evolving story for Oilers fans who yesterday, the Oilers were, hey, you know what? Babcock's our guy. That was what people in the organization were saying. And it was Darren Dreger was the first to report originally that they'd reach out to the NHLPA to see if they had to do any other investigation, if anything, to get it done. And it turns out that back in 2023, the NHL had their investigation. There was obviously the accusations of looking at phone, but turns out there was something deeper and more malicious, in fact. And that's what led to Mike Babcock resigning. Now, they didn't do a thorough investigation. It was brought up. Babcock said, okay, I'm out. And the NHLPA said they didn't have to do a deeper investigation because he wasn't involved now. So they felt like we're not going to waste the resources to do it at the time. Because I think a lot of people probably felt like that would be it. And that would have been the third strike. Well, fast forward 3 years and wasn't. So now another team's trying to bring him back. And in order to do that, now they have to do a deeper investigation. And Frank Saravalli was just reporting that he thinks with this coming to light, I think how he put it was the tides have shifted, that you're swimming upstream, which, as anybody knows, is a lot harder. Not impossible, ask the salmon, but much harder. And so we'll see. So this story, it's not a guarantee. I wrote that yesterday, that it was time for you had an opportunity to, I believe, do the right thing. Like, I'm a big believer. Like, Mike Babcock had it. If people say, well, you need a second chance, okay. But he had that chance when he went to Columbus. Right? He had the chance. That's what his second chance was. When there's only 32 NHL jobs, maybe you don't get third chance. So we'll see how this investigation goes. But it doesn't sound like it's going to be a very quick thing that's done this week or maybe not even next week. So something to follow, which all this does then, again, is just add and delay the process of the Oilers trying to find a coach. And it seems just bordering on unbelievable how unprofessional this coach hire is looking from the outside. Toronto, Connor, last I checked, Toronto has a coaching vacancy, right?
Correct.
LA had a coaching vacancy. The one announcement you heard was, okay, some of these guys are being interviewed, which is normal. That happens every year to every team. Hey, you know what? This guy's being interviewed. Heck, NFL teams will put it out who they're interviewing because they want their fans to kind of know, okay, this is who we're looking at. Great. That's kind of exciting. It's a talking point for the fans. It's transparency. Okay, we've looked at this guy, that guy. LA decides Peter Laviolette's our guy. Vancouver decides Malhotra's our guy. Toronto's yet to decide. And, we've heard lots of names, which is fine. But in Edmonton's case, it's just been much more drama. Now, maybe at the end it won't matter, right? They'll get a coach. They'll have a successful season. And that's where I've come out on the order. I don't think the coach is the main missing piece. The coach will play a role, yes. But not the coach isn't the do-all, end-all. And there's not one player who will be the do-all, end-all for this. So I'm not going to say the coach doesn't matter. I just don't think the coach matters as much as right now it seems the sense in the organization is that, oh man, we got to get this guy. Now we got to get this guy. Which guy are you going to get? So now, unless they go circle back and somehow they get permission on casting, which might happen. We don't know that. It's not a no for sure, but it's definitely not a yes for sure. And then we'll have to see where it goes in that. But this has been a long stretch where there's been a lot of twists and turns that haven't looked great for the organization. At the end of the day, optics are just optics. They don't lead to wins or losses, guaranteed. It's just been a lot of extra drama. Hey, good for a radio talk show, for sure. People are invested. There's no doubt about this. So hey, Gregor, I don't disagree that Jackson and Bowman have done a terrible job with the hiring. Their biggest problem is their inability to manage upwards because Friedman laid it out that all the changes in the organization have been driven by Cates. Yeah, I don't discount that, Steve. I've heard that, and we've mentioned that on the show before that hey, the owner wants to win. There's no doubt. But when the thirst for winning just kind of consumes you, like anything, at times it'll lead to bad decisions and things that don't look good. And right now, that's where the organization's at. Now, the benefit to Edmonton, and I keep repeating this, I know Oilers fans, you're probably getting like, God, kind of annoyed right now with how things are looking for the organization. That's totally fair. But when the puck drops on next season, regardless of who the head coach is, Edmonton still will be in a good position to be a competitive team. Now, how competitive will depend. There's some moves they have to make. Connor Murphy would be one because there's not a lot of right shot defensemen in the free agent market. That if you lose on Connor Murphy, what's your second option? So that's a challenge. And I talked to Murphy, and he said it on record at the end of the season that he's not chasing the big money. He goes, hey, you know what? Fair deal. Sure, I don't need to get the biggest contract. He's coming off a pretty good contract. He went many years without the playoffs. He got back in the playoffs. Now, they didn't have the success he would have liked, but he still felt the excitement and the passion of the playoffs. And if you look at right shot defensemen who are available, there's Darren Radish, there's John Carlson, there's Jacob Trouba, there's Connor Murphy, Rasmus Anderson. Now, by all intents and purposes, guys in Vegas have told us the Anderson deal is done. Something about LTIR, and they don't have space, so they're waiting for that. But Jacob Trouba, I don't think there's any chance he's coming to Canada, just due to his wife's work. So I'd rule him out. And John Carlson, at his stage of his career, I'd be very surprised if he signs anywhere in the West. Even though he was in Anaheim, I think there's a chance. But I could see him. You're comfortable to the East travel. I think he would go to the East. Just me. Now, Radish is, hey, he's a Canadian. He had an unreal year, but you've got Bouchard. Do you need Radish? They're kind of similar, right? And Radish had like a 1-year breakout. Now, maybe he's a late developer. Very possible. But after that, like there's no right shot, really like dominant defensive right defender after Connor Murphy. And right now, the only team that can talk to him are the Edmonton Oilers. So you got to try to flex that if you can and get him locked up. Now, you have time. You have up until June 30th. Well, technically, I guess you have up until 9:59 a.m. on Canada Day before other teams can legally talk to him. But what if you miss out on him? Well, I guess you turn to Nick Jensen. Vincent Desharnais, and I like Vinny, but I don't view him necessarily as a second pair defender. So that's the number one thing for the Oilers. But I still think that they're in a good enough position, regardless of who the coach is, that they should be a competitive team. Players got to commit. The players are going to be healthier. They're going to be motivated. There's going to be a new head coach, and whoever it is, they'll want to impress the head coach. That's just normal. And who knows? Even though the process right now has been incredibly bumpy, right now, probably bumpier than some of the roads you're driving on in Edmonton. And that's saying a lot in the perceived pothole capital of Canada. So we'll see where it goes, but it's not been a smooth process. I mean, about as smooth as sandpaper right now. Let's take our final break. We'll come back, wrap things up. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We got lots of texts coming in on this one. And we did ask the question earlier. We'll get to that as well. On a rating from 1 to 10, where's your interest at the World Cup, which officially kicks off tomorrow?
Wondering what you can afford?
Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure,
No awkward convos.
just quick answers on your budget and payments.
Bad credit? No credit? We got you.
Text check to 780-777-7777.
That's check to 780 all 7.
Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch.
Including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Just in time for the big game. Score big savings at the Brick. Save up to $1,300 off sofas, up to 25% off bedroom and dining packages, plus save up to 40% on select mounts. And buy more, save more. Up to $1,000 off select major appliances. Watch Team Canada score big on a big screen TV, up to 50% off open box electronics. See in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is next Friday at 9 a.m. featuring articulated dump trucks, backhoes, excavators, forklifts, graders, loaders, packers, reclaimer, skid steers, telehandlers, turf mowers, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-op, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auction is next Friday at 9 a.m., featuring a large selection of 2020 to 2014 Caterpillar, John Deere, and Volvo articulated dump trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Counting down. Wednesday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca as we roll through. Congratulations to Max Scherzer as he becomes the 11th pitcher in MLB history with 3,500 strikeouts. He has 3 so far tonight, which gives him 3,502. And by the end of this season, he should be up to 9th all time. Pretty damn impressive, man. Like, that is a lot of punch outs. A lot of punch outs. Like, you look at a guy, so that's essentially, you got Dylan Cease right now. Is it Dylan Cease? Did I say? Yeah. 5 consecutive seasons of 200 strikeouts or more, most in MLB. He'd have to have 17 straight years of 200 strikeouts to get to 30. Now, obviously, if there's 35 and a bit more, if it's 50, obviously that's going to be different. But that is a long time, man. Like, that is a lot of Ks. Now, Scherzer's obviously played more seasons than that. But that is an impressive number. There's no doubt in my mind. Like that, come on. You look now, Nolan Ryan, of course, is in a whole other stratosphere. 5,714 strikeouts. Randy Johnson, the big unit, 22 seasons. He had 4,875. Roger Clemens, 4,672. Steve Carlson, 4,136. And Bert Blyleven is 5th at 3,701. Justin Verlander is 20 shy right now of catching Don Sutton. As Scherzer is now up to 3,502. He needs 8 more, and he'll pass Walter Johnson for 10th all time. And he needs 33 more, and he'll pass Gaylord Perry for 9th. So that's quite the career for Hall of Fame career for Mad Max Scherzer.
Can I throw a stat at you? I want to see if you were as blown away by this as I was. The career record for most complete games for a pitcher, Cy Young, 749. Who do you think among active pitchers has the most, and what do you think the number is?
Complete games?
Complete games.
How many did you say you had?
Cy Young, 749.
So most complete games by an active pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's almost unheard of now. But some of these guys, I'm going to say 84.
26 for Justin Verlander.
26?
Yeah. That blew my mind. Like, yeah. I get it. We're worried about the arms and all that, but I would have guessed closer to where you were at, like 80, 75, 100. No, 26. And he's got 10 more than Chris Sale in second.
So Chris Sale's had 16.
Yeah.
How many Scherzer have?
12.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that just shows you, like, how difficult it is now to let a guy go the full distance.
Mm-hmm. Dylan Cease has 3.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Great. Hey, boys, Murphy makes Nurse better. It's a twofer to get Murphy. Yeah, that's fair. I think he helps him, right? They complement each other for sure. Murphy spoke very highly of Nurse, right? They seem to gel together. I think it would be a good signing for both. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't trade Darnell Nurse. I've never said you can't trade him. I've always just warned people, be careful what you wish for. Everybody was like, trade Stuart Skinner, get rid of Stuart Skinner. But when it happened, it didn't happen the way everybody wanted, right? That's not great. Not great at all. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, any reason why Gerard Gallant's name never comes up in coaching hirings? Owen comes in from RB. Good question. If you look at Gerard Gallant, I asked that question a few years ago because his last time coaching was, he's actually coached more recently than Babcock. Of course, his last coaching job was with the Rangers in 22-23. And he, every season that he finished, he made the playoffs except for with the Panthers in 2015, but made the playoffs in 16 and got fired the next year, then got hired in Vegas, lost in the finals the first year, then lost in round one, then got fired 49 games into his third year. Then he got hired by the New York Rangers after COVID, went to the third round the first year. It's pretty good success right away with some teams when he's the head coach. Now, his first tour way back when with Columbus, right? Like he went to Columbus, then he was out of the league for, as a head coach anyway, from 2007. He didn't have a head coaching gig again until 2015. He was an assistant for a few years in between there, but my understanding that in Gerard Gallant's case, a few times he butted heads a little bit with the GM because he kind of liked to do things his way, and maybe has been painted into a picture of, well, this is a guy who, if you hire him, he'll want to do things his own way. I'm not saying that's true or not. That's just what I've heard. So, and sometimes, it's funny. So think about that. You're willing to give a guy who has a track record of bullying, proven by many people, but you have a guy who maybe at times, will question you as a GM. And that guy doesn't get in. Like, I never heard his name interviewed. I don't know if his name was interviewed in Toronto yet, because I've heard they're up to 18 or 19 people, and I haven't heard his name, but I haven't read intently on who are all the people that are being interviewed or not. But I haven't heard his name in Edmonton, and I didn't hear his name in LA. So, but it would be a fair question to ask, why he isn't somebody that is on the list, because he's had success his last few stops, right? You get to the finals, you get to the third round, first year with Vegas, first year with the Rangers, pretty good, right? So who knows? But
he did leave his job with health concerns, Gregor. That would be my only.
That was you're in Russia, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The
and that's
Shanghai team. Yeah.
Right. And Barry Trotz, people ask about Barry Trotz. My understanding is Barry Trotz is stepping away from his role in Nashville because of family work-life balance. He just felt like, you know what, man, I have been in this for a long time. I owe it to my wife and my family to be around them more. So Barry Trotz isn't an option. And so you're right. Gerard Gallant, good one, Cons. I forgot about his health issues over in from leaving that team. So that would obviously answer it. But even before then, there was a while, because there was lots of times people were like, why is this guy didn't get hired right away? Even though, before he had to go over there.
I've dropped his name before. I like him.
So we've had him on the show. And I met Gerard. He's a straight shooter, man. I've always liked him. Where you stand with him, which is much better than not knowing. On behalf of Hallie, I'm Gregor. Be sure to download the show on your podcast. If you want to listen to any of the interviews, jasongregor.com, or you can rewatch everything at YouTube. Have yourselves a wonderful Wednesday. Enjoy the NBA. Enjoy the Jays. We'll have it coming up right after our Connor Hallie Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Hire Good. If you are looking for services that you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Stable jobs create stable lives. HireGood.ca. Good night.